That. It's hard to forgive her for that.
You're kind of a disaster.
Guys, we had a female in our fantasy league who sent out a picture of herself removing a piece of clothing after every win. Looks like if Doug did this, he would have won.
Does it look that way? Anyone?
No.
Whoa. Matt Forte. So you won on Matt Forte. We got a bunch of points in the mop-up time. A man of integrity wouldn't accept those Forte mop-up
No, I had one long before mop-up time. Oh, gosh, I had one long before mop-up time. Oh, heaven's sakes, of course, I could refund a point or two. Let me see exactly how many points I could refund before I say that. Because I do want to refund.
Well, Tim was just saying, because I stopped by, but they were running Forte and mop-up time, causing some some concern, some questions.
John Gruden, who signed his extension through 2021 with ESPN, and he was making the observation that this is bizarre that they are running the football down by 2 scores.
Yeah, well, I would be willing to refund approximately 8 points.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So instead of winning 97 to 98, I would win like 89 to 88. I guess I could do that.
Doug, come over tonight. We'll pray, and I'll totes make you better. That's from Bunchy Donovan's priest.
I don't need any priest right now.
A little counseling might help, though.
I need a computer programmer to check on some of the
maybe you just need to contract out your fantasy football to someone who kind of knows what they're doing.
No, I don't think so.
Prod Joe shouldn't accept points scored in mop-up time. Thanks, Sam Bradford. It is producer Joe's big thing on Bradford. Everything was in mop-up time, and yet there it is. Yeah. Mop-up time gets him to the championship game.
And he's going to accept it?
Well, we don't know that yet.
I keep expecting a phone call or a text apologizing for what happened and for those points to be refunded.
So that still could happen.
I think it probably should happen.
Boy,
if he's a man of integrity.
I had it wrong. You're not a griper. You're a man of character.
This is just what I would do.
Bye.
It's up to Joe.
Why did you have to bring like the country and the president into it when things went south on
That's what you say when things don't go your way. You say things like, thanks, Obama. You say, where's Al Sharpton now? Nice. And those seem like appropriate things to say last night when Cutler's going crazy in mop-up time.
Try this, dang it.
Dang it? Yeah, that works a little bit.
Dang it, Cutler.
Doug, when you lose countless times over the course of your life, one would think you might better know how to handle it. Big Blonde Dan.
Big Blonde Dan. The big Swede, the big raw-boned Swede. He didn't need to text into here.
Guys, your thoughts on Connie Britton? Look her up. Thanks. Hashtag potent potable.
Connie Britton? Do you know who that is?
No.
She was on Friday Night Lights, and she's on that show about country music. Is it called Nashville?
She was also in Spin City.
She's in Spin City.
And I can't hear.
Willie, you can't hear?
There we go. I had my headphones in the other.
Hey, I see Alpina's back.
He is.
Alpina's back, and you're gonna be
what's going on, guys?
Alpina, I might have to stop following you on Twitter. It's just too many passionate sports takes.
Too many?
You don't seem to be real high on Johnny Manziel.
I just think, he is what he is. He is what he is. He's 5'11". He's kind of like a cocky frat boy. I don't know. Just don't like him.
Doug, there that is.
It was just one game.
Based on one game, you're
No. I'm basing the frat boy hatred on everything that he's kind of been like his whole...
So you don't like frat guys? I mean, that seems like that's the core of the issue.
I was a frat guy.
So was I. So was Tim.
But did you do money signs?
Doug?
Well, I didn't have any money.
Nothing's changed.
I did on my computer printouts.
You did?
Yeah.
You did? That's good. I don't know. I just think that, do you think that he's the answer in Cleveland? Not that there's any answer in Cleveland?
We're not going to get into that.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
This is Tim McKernan here to tell you about Sound Story. Holidays are quickly approaching, and if you are looking for the perfect gift to give, you can find it at mysoundstory.com. And this week, Sound Story gift cards are 20% off when you enter promo code GIFT at mysoundstory.com. With Sound Story, you have the choice of Doug Vaughn, Action Jackson, or myself to interview your mother, or your father, or your grandmother, your grandfather, or yourself to record life stories and wisdom for all of your family. It's the kind of gift that you'll never regret giving. It's the rare gift that everyone will love, not just this year, but for years to come. Just go to mysoundstory.com to receive this holiday special discount of 20% off the cost of a Sound Story gift certificate by entering promo code GIFT. And you will be giving your family the gift of keeping your family story saved forever. It's Sound Story. Promo code GIFT for 20% off this week at mysoundstory.com.
Doug Vaughn here alongside the home loan expert, Ryan Kelly. Ryan, rates are high. Is it still a good time to do a cash-out refi?
Absolutely. Mortgage rates have definitely gone up a little bit over the last year, but so is your equity. Think about what those houses are selling for in your neighborhood right now. Maybe they're selling for $400,000. What do you owe on your current loan? $300,000? That means you have $100,000 in equity. And with a simple cash-out refinance, we can replace your current loan with a new one and pull that equity out and give it to you at closing. In fact, our average client received over $54,000 at closing. Would that change your life a little bit? Probably. Would you have to continue to worry about when you're going to get paid next and what bills are going to get paid and the credit cards and the interest and all that? Probably get rid of all that stuff and put you on the path to financial freedom. That's why a cash-out refinance is one of our favorite loans and our most popular loans right now. Thinking about getting a little cash to pay off some debt? Think no more. Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You are listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. It's our Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour from the Michelob Ultra Studios. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Sullivan, Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, the Plowhawk. Action Jackson is in his own studio. It's the Horton Watkins studio. It's the Bachelor studio, Doug. That's where you go if you're a bachelor.
Or if you really need to go private with one of the listeners.
I guess I got to go back there.
Yeah, go on back. Hang out. Jackson, is there room for Ken?
There's always room for Ken.
Oh, my gosh.
It'd be a cozy little room back there.
Heat from
I'm not really a
man.
bachelor.
What do you mean?
Well, a bachelor is you're not married, but you're on the prowl.
No, it just means you're not married.
No, I thought there was more to it than that.
Nope. On the prowl is an addendum to bachelorhood. You're a lifelong bachelor.
And happy.
Would you say St. Louis' most eligible bachelor?
No.
Jackson was.
No, there's no girl that's looking for me.
Not one?
No.
Huh.
You have a specific set of instructions in order to have sex.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little bit a tougher climb.
Right.
Doug, first text today morning, is Iggy going to Jamaica? Thanks. That's from Rocky Osguma.
Oh, no.
Have you not been listening?
Rocky Osguma, have you not been listening? The action's back on you. You can text in your answer, the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox, 314-881-TMA5, or you can call it in. Steve Schmidt, Kia, North County, phone line 636-9004-TMA, or email it in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Ken breaking out the XFL cap today. Nice. That's from Mr. Bojangles. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
It's from our friend Stoley. He gave me that.
Well, did he really? When does the XFL season start? Is that this coming February? It is, isn't it?
I believe so.
All right. And then a month later, we'll get soccer.
They have a quarterback. Former Alabama guy, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
And then a month after that, we'll get baseball.
And hockey will still be going on.
Hockey playoffs in a month after that.
Busy time in St. Louis.
Saturday, February 18th is the first game.
There you go, Doug.
All right.
All right.
And they're practicing all down in Texas?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Gives you that local feel.
Yeah. You see the players, get to know them real well.
I like the rebrand. The XFL logo looks good.
Hey, Tim, yesterday Ebenezer Mugatu stated that he was able to identify the exact date he wrote a check for his T-Mobile account. I ask him now, what is the date you wrote the passport check? I will now submit a wager that after this information is provided.
No, you make a wager before.
Jackson,
I don't understand that.
How many wagers we have yesterday?
Several.
Ebenezer
All right, well,
Mugatu.
get their check. Get their checks ready.
How do you like that? As soon as we sit down, you get cross-examined by people you don't even know.
And Ebenezer.
Rocky
I'm not a Scrooge.
Ebenezer Mugatu, Doug.
That's one of the best.
The crossover.
I'm not a Scrooge, and I don't even know what Mugatu means.
It's in Zoolander.
It's
and
Will Ferrell's character, right?
oh,
That's right. Hansel is so hot right now.
Wellington was in studio when the first listener busted out the Bugatti joke, and he about fell off his chair.
I mean, wasn't he a model?
He was represented models. Great movie.
It makes no sense why you would call me that.
Ebenezer Mugatu.
Well, you could have been a model.
Back in the day, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
And a porn star.
Both of them. All right, so what is the bet here?
Whatever they bet yesterday. One guy said, I guarantee you he hasn't sent in a check and hasn't even gotten the paperwork done yet, and there's no way he's going. He won't have a passport.
There are a bunch of texts saying I don't know what the deal is, but for whatever reason, people are locked and loaded right when we went on the air to say that you haven't sent the check. I know. That's why I'm wondering, was there something going on in the Twitter tweets or on the Facebook page or?
Let me check the morning and see if
they want to see your papers.
I'm not showing them. I don't really care.
Your papers are not in order.
I'll show you when I get the passport. I'll show you that, and you can all pay up.
They're all taking out money out of all their ATMs and just putting it all on black.
Of all the things to worry about in life, they're worried about Iggy's passport paperwork.
I don't get it. I really don't. But.
Tervis Parish, Doug, says not taking the appropriate steps to go on a vacation that your company is paying for is one of the most disrespectful moves in the world. That's from Tervis Parish.
And you're under the impression I didn't do any of that. Seriously, dude.
Yeah, dude, come on. I mean,
what are you looking
angry.
up right now?
They're mad and angry.
Yeah, mad as hornets.
We just got started. We just sat down.
Yeah, I've been able to break down Shenner's winner.
Right.
Looking to see if any of my checks went through. No.
Still hadn't gone through?
Well, we're leaving in 6 weeks, so it's not like...
But if you wrote it a month ago, that has to be concerning.
Well, I don't think it was a month ago.
How long was it?
I did it as soon as... because I did think at some point I'm going to Italy. So I'm going to need a passport.
Bertorelli's place.
But whenever it was that you texted and said, we can't say anything yet, but it looks like we're going to Jamaica. That's when I...
Well, we were on the phone.
That's when I started the process.
We were talking about Jay passing that day. That's when I told you about the Jamaica
and that
trip,
was
trying to lift your
back.
spirits.
So it wasn't quite a month ago, but that's when I did. I said, well, I guess in case we do this, I guess... And then I said, I want to go to Italy, so I'm going to need a passport.
Bertorelli's place.
So it probably wasn't a month ago, but that's when I did it, so...
Good morning. No one believes Ken because Ken is a liar. Doug, that's from Nate, and he's over in Tallahassee. The Seminoles got things going toward the end of the year.
Yeah.
And again, you've yet to prove any of it. You keep saying I'm a liar. All these people, you're a liar. I mean, you've had to prove.
They'd have to have your bank records to prove.
Well, not that, but it was a bold statement because he's a liar. Well, prove something I lied about.
Todd Reesing says now the story has changed.
No, it hasn't changed.
You do have every intention of going, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Willingly.
Do you think you need to
No, not willingly.
Do you think you need to double check on this passport thing, see if there's any problem?
Oh, my God. Did Tim get yours yet? Plowsy, you got yours yet? Jackson, you got yours yet?
Have not.
I do.
I have not at all.
Oh, good for you.
I have mine.
But my checks have been cashed. That's the thing that, to me, makes me confident that I'm going to get it. So you sent yours in before mine, and it hasn't been cashed, which then would be concerning, like if the shoe were on the other foot.
Well, you're an M, I'm an S. They go in alphabetical order, I think. So.
Is that how the mail works?
Are there guys who kick with both legs?
I don't know why everybody's so worried about whether I get it or not. I mean, the show will not suffer for 2 days if I'm not there, but I will be there. The passport will be here.
I don't know.
I will be there.
No one else has one. I may be going alone.
No, you got Jackson.
Jackson has yours. You have one in hand already?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. You and me.
Can we get the Gabe someone is being lied to drop? That's from show ombudsman Brian Henshin.
See, I was going to play it, but I don't. I actually believe Ken. I think. I mean, why?
Nobody's being lied to. You're making up assumptions that I'm not going to get it. Not you, Tim. You, the listener. And I'm telling you what happened. So they both can be right. You can make your own opinions all you want.
Sure.
Liar, you didn't do it.
Innocent until proven guilty, Doug. I have zero evidence to go on Iggy to think he's lying in this scenario.
The Loomster was up for Listener of the Year 5 days ago at the year-end awards at Harpo's presented by Manganast. And he says, "Good morning, fellas. Just tuning in. Ken has done nothing for this passport." That's from the Loomster.
Again, put your money up.
Loomster, if you're interested, put your money up.
How much? People think about this when they go to bed at night.
This would be
because they wake up bright and early, and that's the first thing on their mind.
I think they write out a piece of paper of early text, and as soon as they wake up, they just start typing.
Where's that passport?
This is a good play by Iggy, though, because he's showing a lack of confidence, which may up the value of these bets, and then right when the bets are in, boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Check and
Pulls
cash.
out the passport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then just get paid.
I'm not looking up anything because I don't have anything to prove to any of you who are texting in. I really don't. But when you bet, we have your bets written down. And
We do?
Jackson said he was writing them down yesterday.
Jackson, do you have them written down?
Whoa.
No, he doesn't.
I had
a lot of developments here. Doug, again, Schenner, Benner. How do you do?
I wrote down the list for donations when people said they would donate if you would go. The bets, it's tough to follow these guys. You know, sometimes they say, like, I'll bet $5,000 he doesn't have it. It's like, are you really going to bet $5,000 that he doesn't have it?
Guys, pull out Ken's 1970 checkbook and see if Ken has the check written in his ledger. That's from Mr. Bojangles. Sammy Davis Jr.
These checks don't have carbon copies like they used to. But, I mean, I wrote it in my
Ledger.
checkbook. I wrote it, the check number, and when I wrote it, and how much it was for. But I can't show you a copy of the check or the blueprint that they used to have, the carbon copy. They don't have those anymore. But I don't need to do it. I don't really care. Y'all bet what you want. And the day the passport comes in, I'll bring it and show it to you. Then you can all write a check and send it to the radio station in my name.
Doesn't everybody still have a checkbook of some kind?
I hate when I have to write a
anything?
check, Doug. I hate when I have to write a check.
Yeah.
It's very rare. It's only for like a government, situation like this where you have to write a check.
Right. Sometimes I've had to send them in where you put void on the front so they can direct deposit into your account.
I've never written a check in my life.
Oh, come on.
Never once.
How do you pay rent?
Bill pay.
Gotcha. Yeah, I pay rent because it's convenient because my landlord lives in our two-family.
How'd you pay for your passport?
My parents paid for that years
ago.
Horton Watkins.
Years ago.
America.
Years ago. This was like 5 years ago.
Make sure we talk about that on Balloon Party.
I was like 19.
I'm at the pool house. Can you do it for me? Sure.
Yeah.
Harrison's brother Master is back. He is adamant. He says, "Okay, what's the date then?" I don't know what that means, but I'm just reading what's in the prompt.
These guys.
Well, Tim can look it up whenever he called me to let me know.
What was the day Jay passed away? So you then applied like that day? We talked at like 3 in the afternoon.
No, whatever the next day I could get to the post office.
That would be a Sattersman because that was
The next
Friday
day I
when
could
Jay
have gone to
passed.
the post office. So it would have been that Monday.
All right.
All right.
Seriously having a panic attack.
Yeah, there's a lot of listeners are going
Our
to.
listeners
If you don't
are.
make that trip.
They're panicking whether I'm going to have a passport to go or not.
Well, they want you to make this trip.
Iggy,
I
it
don't
would
know
be
why.
fun.
Lisa Ann will be there.
So therefore, November 21st was the day you wrote the check.
Okay, it's not quite a month, but almost.
Yeah. Well, they want you to be in Jamaica.
I'm going to call up, Doug, I'm going to call up my check right now and see when I wrote it. I think it was after that.
I did mine a week ago yesterday, so I'm hoping today, most definitely, my check will be. Because I tracked it and it made it to Texas, I guess.
Oh,
That's where
did it?
Nice.
its first destination went. I guess that's where they're going to cash it. Head on down to Tijuana.
Yeah, probably.
With my check, that means nothing because it takes about 30 cents to probably make a passport.
So for whatever reason, no image of it's available. I don't know what that's about. We have 2 of them. But the check was deposited by the United States government, Doug. The Department of State.
Really?
How do you do?
Well, I'm
Department of
fine.
State.
On
Yeah.
November 30th.
Maybe they fixed a road with that.
Nice.
It sounded fake when the librarian goes, "I'll make it out to the Department of State." I'm like, "Are you guys? Is this real?"
Department of State. Do we even have that in this country?
Is that even
we
a
have
real
State Department?
Yeah, Department of State. And I look at her and I was waiting for like the last word of.
And nothing else. Huh?
That was it.
Yeah, you get taken.
Bought a wing to a library.
You'll be staying home with Iggy, apparently.
Yeah, we'll just sit in here and do our own show. We'll do Pepper and Genie for 3 hours.
Oh, the listeners would love that.
Beer Cats, who, of course, now, Doug, is at a time of peace with Iggy, says the details of when/why he applied for the passport have suddenly changed. 2 weeks ago, he said he had applied a month ago when planning for Italy. If he did it once, he heard the show may go to Jamaica. It absolutely was nowhere close to a month prior to the Monday he returned from vacation. It is a sea of lies.
Oh.
Soon we will hear all of this was just for content.
No, not content. Where did I change? I brought Italy up.
You did.
You want to go there someday?
That was shocking.
I do. That's one of my bucket list trips. Italy and Greece. Jamaica.
Excuse me. All right.
Look, I am, and I didn't like the text about I'm ungrateful.
That was out of line.
Yeah.
That was far.
I think I've told Jesse a few times that I don't want you to feel like I'm ungrateful because I don't want to go.
No.
I love everything that Hubbard does for us.
Sure, fabulous people.
And I'm going.
Yes, you'll be
but
there.
Reluctantly because
I want to go.
I don't like traveling for 3 days.
No.
That was the only chance I had to go in and didn't go. And when I take a pay cut to go, which was hard to do at that time.
That makes no sense to what we're talking
I know, but it doesn't need to.
This is entirely a plan by Alligator Skin Man so that he does not have to go. It is so clear and obvious. That's from Tervis Parish. Tervis Parish and Harrison's brother Master, Doug, they are the Marsha Clark and Chris Darden of this,
they
this
seem to be.
prosecution team. They are on
I
it.
wouldn't go to that length to lie about registering for a passport and lying about I did all the work just so I didn't have to go. I would say I don't want to go.
You did say that. You already said that you didn't want to go.
Well, I did, but then I had a Lisa Ann and a few donations, and I had no choice.
Well, that doesn't mean you want to go. That means now you have to go.
No, I
You're
don't want to go.
obligated to go.
But once I get there and we do the show and we're out playing golf and enjoying it, then it'll be fun. I'm not going to be poo-pooing when I'm down. Like, well, God, I can't believe I'm here. No, I look forward to it when we get there.
Jackson's going to be banging in Little Rock. He's going to be banging in Little Rock.
Little Rock.
He's banging.
Little Rock, Jamaica.
Yeah.
I really do. If I could bet, I'll bet anybody that Jackson gets laid down.
No, I think he will. The EC is usually pretty easy at these places.
How can you forecast that?
Entertainment coordinators. They're usually looking for Americans.
Oh, and they're looking to have the sex?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, come on.
I would think that would be
Now
off
I'm
limits.
just going by where I go.
Where do you go?
Well, hedonism.
Oh,
Well, if they're like 56.
Go for it, dude.
No,
You only live once,
The ECs
Jackson.
aren't that.
You're
No,
in a
the
different
ECs
country.
are in the early 20s, mid-20s.
Okay.
Oh, there you
EC
go.
is different than like the director of the hotel, right?
Now you will have some that'll chum up to you, and then comes the looking for money for something. So
Nice. Wrap that, Jimmy. I'm gonna be a mark. I'm gonna be a mark in Jamaica. I'll probably look like one.
why?
I look touristy. I look high. So I'm like, oh, they're into this guy's.
Well, you'll have a girl with you.
Yeah, well, Madison will be there. Be fun. We'll be banging a
They'll
little
try to
bit.
sell you beads and things.
Everybody banging in Little Rock.
And I don't know what this. I know it's an adults only resort, but I don't know if it's single guys can go or single girls can go, or if it's all couples. I'm not sure. I've never been to Sandals.
How could they tell you no if you just wanted to go alone or something?
You get all the way to Jamaica, sir.
Well, if it's a couples resort, then
Well, it's only king-size beds. It's only king-size beds.
Oh, that's awesome.
So Jackson is sleeping in the same bed as Lisa Ann.
Okay.
You're welcome.
She'll get to witness me sleeping face down.
Oh, she's gonna think you're dead.
Yeah, she's gonna wake
I guess for that I'll have to sleep on my side. I don't want anyone to get alarmed.
Where does your mouth go when you sleep face down?
Flip that off.
I create like a little air gap with under the pillow.
Huh.
So I often sleep without a pillow, like I'm just face down into the mattress.
Dude, you gotta get that. You gotta get
Doesn't
that,
that hurt
taken
your
care of.
hurt your neck?
I guess not. My neck doesn't hurt when I wake up. I've had it maybe once or twice.
How do you know you stay like that all night? At some point, your head probably turns.
Yeah, probably.
I like thin pillows because I feel like I'm suffocating with those fluffy
Oh,
ones.
do you?
Well, can't they push up?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'm
Now
gonna
you
lay
got
down.
earmuffs.
So yeah, I like it real thin, but I still like a pillow.
Warson Woods Wacko is placing a wager. I will bet you $500 Jackson does not have sex. He will not bang a beehole in the United States, but he's going to bang some foreigner in Jamaica. It's the Warson Woods Wacko.
Yeah, that completely
Jackson,
makes
I mean, am I going to put $500 on you as my horse?
I mean, it's your money. Do what you want with it. But, 500's that's a little rich.
But, I mean, Doug, game theory dictates that if I have an edge, I have to make the play. So if you are confident that you are going to have the sex...
I mean, I'm confident I'm going to try.
How could you be confident? We've never been there. We've never scoped out the place to know what it's like.
Yeah, but like a hooker could be $100. So like you could pay for that
Make
hooker and then
400,
make
yeah.
400 right there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the play right there.
I mean, sure,
Yeah,
shoot.
wrap it up for sure with a $100 hooker, but
Good advice, Plowsy.
That's counsel we're giving out.
I'm just saying, like it.
Certainly don't pay
one of
$100.
the lower end ones.
I had a friend at Hito that would just a Hito friend. I only saw him when he was at Hito. But they were from Philadelphia. They were from Philadelphia.
Sure they
These two guys came down every year the same time I did. We became very good friends. But he was on the heavier side, kind of short and stocky.
Built.
And
heavy set, husky.
And usually at Toga night, the prostitutes would come in. They get a day pass or a night pass, and they come in and make their money.
Really?
How about Toga night?
And
they brought in prostitutes at Hito?
They did, and they would come in. They would just get anybody could get a night pass. So these prostitutes would get a night pass and come in and just have sex all night with these guys because they were so horny, seeing naked girls all day and they can't get laid.
And they would pay additional money. Didn't they think that their check for hedonism was enough, that they were going to get lucky that way? Then they had to pay more on top of that?
Well, they didn't get lucky. A lot of these guys think they're going to get laid, and they don't.
Oh.
So the prostitutes have good nights there. Nice. And my buddy, it was the entertainment portion of the night. It was the entertainment portion of the evening where the ECs get up and they do little skits or musicals or whatever. So he goes, I gotta get a hooker. So horny. I love that one up there. I said, oh, she's kind of cute. He goes up to her and he comes back. I go, what happened? He goes, she told me she was watching the show to leave her alone.
Oh, gosh.
The hooker was locked in on the entertainment.
Your money's no good here.
Dude, I can't. You're the first person I know that's been turned down by a hooker.
Yeah, that is rough.
God, that would be a bad
At Hito, no less.
Oh, I'd fly home that night. I'd take the red eye in shame and just head down the entire way.
I got turned down by a hooker at Hito.
I think I wrote that in my trip report and he got upset. Now somebody's on Denny P's page looking for my trip report.
Sure, everybody is.
Denny P needs to work on his website. I think it looked like the very first website I've ever used.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the first ones. I don't think it's changed.
It was one of the first websites in the history of the internet, Denny P's website.
I talked to him yesterday. Somebody was, not for this person on the fan page, but somebody said I should get Hito Rick, the guy ripping and the tearing.
That'd be a great pepper and genie, yes.
Yeah. So I reached out to Denny, said you got a contact.
Nice.
You sure you don't want him on TMA, Tim?
I think Balloon Party would be where he'd be best suited. Hey, if you are looking for a career change, Patrick Nealon and Centric can help you out. Cybersecurity is the most exciting career in technology and one of the most in demand. Centric can train you for a career in cybersecurity, and they can do it in just 4 months. Centric's hands-on program teaches you the actual job skills you need to get started. No history, no biology, just technology. That's how they do it in just 4 months, even if you have no IT experience. And you can do it online, you can do it in person, you can do it in the evenings, you can do it during the day, whichever works best for you. If you are interested in a career in cybersecurity, call Patrick Nealon at Centric Training today, and he will walk you through Centric's cutting-edge program and show you everything Centric does to help get you started in your new IT career. Call 314-450-4714 or go to centric.com/STL. That's CENTRIQ.com/STL. Cybersecurity is a problem for every business in St. Louis. You can be part of the solution with Centric. That's what you can do. Jackson, could you tell the people about Muggsy?
Absolutely, Tim. It's gifting season, so allow me to give you a little cheat code. Called Muggsy, the only jeans you'll ever want to wear again. The most damn comfortable denim ever made and designed to fit you perfectly every single time. Say goodbye to old tight jeans that make your legs feel like they're being squeezed, because Muggsies are crafted from their insane stretch material that moves and grooves with you and creates airflow down below. They're the most comfortable and stylish men's jeans on the planet Earth because they're designed by dudes for dudes. Never baggy and never tight. And this winter, they're changing the game as the official sponsor of Warm Nuts, because their new lines of jeans, fleece and flannel, literally stitched inside the entire leg, making sure your acorns stay perfectly nice and Toasty. This holiday season, give yourself or a loved one the ultimate gift of life-changing comfort. You look great, feel even better, and stay warm with Muggsy. Now, we got a promo code. The promo code is TMA. I'll say it again.
Nice. TMA.
TMA. That gets you 10% off your entire order with free shipping and free returns. Again, that's Muggsy.com, promo code TMA. 10% off your entire order with free shipping and free returns. Experience life-changing comfort with Muggsy.
Design Air Heating and Cooling is the official HVAC provider of the Ryan Kelly Morning After. I am a client. Doug is a client. Say, friend, why don't you become a client as well with Design Air Heating and Cooling? It's designairservice.com. And Doug, heads up. Next Thursday, 40% chance of snow, low of 10 degrees, and it is the last day we do the show in 2022, as a matter of fact.
Well, a lot of people will be rooting for a white Christmas, I suppose. Looks like we might get it, huh?
Dreaming of a white... Bing Crosby.
Christmas, yeah. Der Bingle.
I watched that movie the other day.
How was it?
Oh, did you?
Outstanding.
I got a DM on the Twitter tweets. Guy he said, "Morning, Tim. Is Design Air the heating company that sponsors TMA? Furnace shot out overnight." I said, "You better believe it, brother." And I sent him the link, designairservice.com. Get that furnace checked because you don't want to be in a spot where it's 10 degrees and the furnace isn't working. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, Seth Goldcamp, and his wonderful staff at Design Air Heating and Cooling. Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies is our financial advisor sponsor here on the program, 314-889-0503. Or go online at evergreenstl.com. Mark Hanna. Jackson, you work with Mark. What do you like about Mark?
He's the great communicator.
I like that.
Is that really?
Yeah.
I thought that was Ronald Reagan.
No. The great communicator is Mark Hanna.
Okay.
And that's the key, man. Being able to talk to your guy about anything, like you have an issue down the line, because you set up this great financial plan that he builds custom for you, not just based on your age or how much money you make. He bases on your goals and what you want to do in the future. And then if you want to make a change, you're able to talk to him, and he's like looking forward to talking to you. He loves talking to his clients. And so much more of it is about like life in general and then finance intertwined in that. So having that, peace of mind that you can call your guy whenever you need and he'll help you out is the best. That's why Mark Hanna is the great communicator. And I suggest anyone who wants to set up their financial future work with the great Mark Hanna.
Sounds like he's some sort of life Sherpa.
I agree with that. I think he is.
Bingo, Doug.
314-889-0503 or go online at evergreenstl.com. That's Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Let's see. Along with his passport, Jackie Boy is going to be bringing that V card too. His virginity knows no borders. The unadulterated one will remain unadulterated. That's from Texture of the Year, Little Tommy Tribbins.
Really? From Tribbins?
Lame.
Wow. Jackson.
Yeah. Well, I don't think... little Tommy Tribbins thinks I'm a virgin.
Is that hurtful?
Yeah, how will I recover?
Glove blogger Tom Traven, who I also believe was a nominee but did not win. Guys, did we ever get a statement from Ken on why he crimped his hair last Thursday night? He looked like a 13-year-old going through an emo phase. That's from glove blogger Tom Traven.
Crimped it? What do you do to crimp your hair?
I don't know what crimp is.
It was a fashion style for a few months in the 1980s. It was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It looked like a crinkle-cut fry. That's what I remember.
It wouldn't stay back.
You put a little gel in there? You ever do that?
I should have. I didn't. Because when I comb it, it's over, and then it fell down. I couldn't get it to stay over there, so I wasn't really worried about my hair.
Still a great night.
You're lucky. You got to see me without a hat. You should feel privileged.
Well, only if you get to see that.
I very rarely don't wear a hat.
And it's a real treat when people get to see your hair.
Obviously not for this guy. He thought I crimped it.
Yeah, glove blogger Tom Traven didn't care for it. Guys, I'll go down to Jamaica with you, have sex with Jackson, and make Tim $500. It's a win for everybody. Thanks. That's from caller Buzz.
Have we heard yet if any listeners are going to Jamaica?
We
don't have it confirmed anywhere, do we?
I saw one post, I guess it was a week or two ago, in the YouTube chat when we were discussing it, from someone I believe Iggy has blocked, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know the block list.
Who could know?
Have you increased the block list or decreased? I guess you decreased it because you unblocked beer cats.
Yeah, I haven't blocked anybody in a while, and
there you go.
Took beer cats off. So
there you go. So it's decreased, but maybe you haven't blocked this person. I thought you might have, and this person was talking about going.
Is it a male?
Yeah.
Because I heard there was a female thinking about going.
Who was that?
Well, I wouldn't be going if that happened.
Oh, no.
I didn't see anything about a female.
You're going to let a girl chase you out of Jamaica?
Chase me out?
Yeah.
Don't want to be anywhere near it.
It?
Them. I don't know. It's Manastar's the only guy I really know that I blocked. Okay. Who's really never going to be unblocked. But the rest of them, whoever it is, all I can do is apologize.
Wow.
I don't know who I have blocked.
No, I don't either.
Oh, I looked.
I couldn't know.
There's apologies.
There's an apology thread?
That's going to take you a while to sit through that apology tour by everyone that you block. It's going to be a full-time job from what I saw a couple months ago.
Yeah, got rough.
Doug, sometimes hot takes, there's a penalty. And being a takesmith is important. You can fire off a take and see if you can become the next Skip Bayless. But yesterday, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe, from my standpoint, kind of the go-tos when you want to get the latest on performance art, had an exchange where Skip got a little personal with his co-host Shannon Sharpe and his analysis of Shannon Sharpe's career, which, if my memory serves, was pretty successful.
Pretty good career, yeah.
Won some Super Bowls and went to Canton, but let's take a listen.
All right, hit the lever, Plowsy.
Still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Skip, that's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No,
Skip, I did what I did.
I never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
Skip, I got to see what you do. You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal
shot. Put your glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot at me to say this man is better than me because I say he's playing bad this year?
Well, because you
Go ahead.
You disrespect him. It's just so. You know what? It's beneath your dignity.
You disrespect me to support him.
No, well, I'll support him over anybody because he's the greatest player who ever played your game, and it's by far.
Have at it.
Okay,
Take off,
I'm going to have at it because I'm going to have at you.
Oh, that's professional takesmithing right there.
Bro.
It really is.
Who can listen to that crap?
I can't believe.
They make millions doing it.
I really would love, like, a behind the scenes. If somebody would give me, I'd sign an NDA. I'd love to see the P&L. Because when Jackson and I are in the ESPN studio, it's Stephen A. Smith, and I don't know who. I mean, it's a new guy every day. Yesterday they were like in circles, and then they'd walk up to the mic and give a take, and then they'd go around in a circle and give him a take.
It's like a debate club.
That is go. I mean, it doesn't harm me in any way. I couldn't care any less. But as you ask always, Doug, who in the hell is watching it
right.
and believing it? It's like professional wrestling, but it's working just like professional wrestling.
And they make like upwards of $5 million or more a year doing that.
I think actually more.
Stephen A. Smith is like double that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's like like bars before they get packed. That's what's on. Like when you're at a bar at 11:30 to have lunch. Like, it's just on because they always have ESPN on. That's, I think,
and that closed captioning that's like 15 seconds behind, and you just see Shannon Sharpe standing up and yelling and scolding, but the closed captioning is just a polite conversation.
It's waiting room TV.
But I'm with Tim. I guarantee you, before that show in their meetings, all right, I'm going to say he's better than you, and then you're going to scream at me, and you're going to make it personal, and then I'm going to yell back at you, and we're going to have some fun. I guarantee that happens.
I don't know. That one didn't look as scripted. I think Skip probably went rogue. I'm sure Sharpe would not have agreed to that content in a meeting room.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, who is 45? The only guy I can think of is Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Yeah,
they're talking about Brady.
So Brady's better than Sharpe? I mean, they don't even play the same position.
Yeah, that's what
How could that be an argument?
If Tom Brady played a tight end position, I mean, dude, you're blocking like 250-pound linebackers, and then you got DNs, and he was in a way more physical league. Or like era. I just don't get the argument in the first place of what does it matter?
You're saying he's better than me. He is. It's not even the same position.
Oh, he took his glasses off, and it looked like they were about ready to scrap.
No, I guarantee it's all made up.
I'll take Unc Shannon in that one.
I think I would take him in a landslide.
Well, I just keep thinking we need to start screaming at each other more.
Yeah, I agree.
To bring in that kind of dollars.
Dan Orlovsky is one of that.
Keep Doug Bystock and Orlowski. Really? He's quite a take-smith.
It's that second generation. Right now, we just have the OGs of the screamers. You know, you have your Stephen A. Smiths, now your Sharps, you know, your Skip Baylesses to a point, and then you had your Max Kellermans to a lesser degree. Orlovsky, that second young wave. He's like Baby Bearcats. Yeah. You know, he's like, he's going to be the guy in 5 years that's going to be taking that.
Do you think Baby Bearcats is about to take this thing over?
Well, I should have maybe avoided that comparison because now Bearcats is going to be lighting up the text line. But I'm just saying, a show like this needs that second generation of fans. Shows like that need that second generation of take-smith.
Orlovsky will be coaching in the Pac-12 in 5 years.
See, I'm old school, though. I think the most talented person on ESPN is Scott Van Pelt. Because he doesn't go crazy. He's entertaining. He's a great interviewer. But they don't do that anymore. You can't get away with doing all shows with professional guys like that. You need people to scream.
These guys all go to Georgia Tech University.
Could you imagine in an interview with one of these shows and go, okay, here's a topic.
Yeah.
Show me your best scream.
Show me your best.
We actually should start Take University.
Yeah.
Missouri
Take. Missouri Take University.
Take University.
There's so many students.
I wonder what process they use now for interviews for people to get jobs there. I'm sure they send in tapes and that, but I remember when I went up for my interview, and it's totally different because I'm a producer. These are on-air people. But I was totally honest. I did nothing before I went up there.
You told them you'd do nothing.
No, I did nothing to prepare before I went up there. I didn't know I was going to have 9 meetings, 10 meetings with all these different people. First meeting, Len Weiner and somebody else said, all right, you're producing the afternoon show today with Dan Patrick. Boom, what's your first topic? I said, I got to be honest with you guys. I haven't picked up a paper all day. I don't know what's going on.
It's a good first impression.
Somehow they offered me the job. I wasn't going to lie to them.
Oh, they did not offer you the job after that. When you said I haven't picked up a paper in months, they did not offer you the job.
They offered me the job at the end of the day. I guess I killed it in my other interviews, but I'm going to make up some stuff. I said, look, I'll be honest with you, I haven't looked at a paper all day, and I really don't know what's going on. But if I had this job, I'd know what's going on.
Yeah, well, there's nothing like flying up there and being prepared.
Well, I had no intention of taking the job. But I guarantee, these people that they hire now for on-air spots, I mean, they have tapes they send in and things like that. But I'm sure you got to get behind the camera, and they give you something, okay, you're doing this, go. Or you're arguing with him, or you're having a discussion with him, go. And they do tape stuff to see how you are on the air. But I wonder how many just go in and start screaming to try and get that gig where they're, God, this guy's, God, he's fun. Look at the way he's screaming.
But ESPN isn't hiring anybody for on it. Like, you have to be a former athlete, you have to be extremely beautiful, or you have to be a former athlete. Those are really just the two. That's just the two. They're not hiring. I mean, you could be the best coming out of college, just great. You have great tape.
Top of your class at Missouri Tech.
They are not hiring you. They just, I mean, maybe for producer role, behind the scenes, of course, they're hiring people all the time.
They've got new people coming in all the time.
For on-air roles?
Shel Smallman just got a job a few months ago. But they're having people do
But
roles.
I meant for TV, on TV consistently, those roles are already filled by former athletes. Yeah. Attractive people and former athletes. That's just the only way you can get an on-air gig at ESPN nowadays.
It just looks like every time I happen to turn it on, there's somebody new that I've never seen before doing some kind of show, hosting a show, part of a panel. They weren't on last week. Who are these people?
Well, times are tough all over, especially local news. I was reading yesterday that 5 of the top people of KNBC out in L.A. all were asked to retire because they just don't have any money to pay them.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. Is that where Jim Hill is? No, is he at KCBS?
He's KCBS.
Is he still doing it?
I think so.
God, he has been doing it since the start of Showtime with the Lakers.
He's got to be.
Did he play? Did he play in the NFL or
yes,
something? He did.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Remember, we would do stuff. Did you do this? I'm sure you did too. When the Rams were here, and we would do as if live shots, and then they would send us, I don't know what it was, a couple $100 or something,
right?
Because he was still covering the Rams in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you and Savard would be like, oh, that's Jim Hill. And I'd be like, I don't know who Jim Hill is.
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
here
a
it is
big
20 years later. He's still doing it. And he was a big deal then, but he started. I don't even know. And he's still, so I mean, that's like 40 years being the sports director there.
I was
76.
I was out there
76, is that right, Jackson?
the year the Cardinals played the Dodgers in the playoffs. Was that 07 maybe? 09?
They played him a bunch, 09.
Must have been 09 because the economy had just gone bad.
Yeah.
And I was doing live shots out of the KCBS truck, and Jim Hill was doing the live shots for his station.
Mm-hmm.
And the photographer says, "You have to excuse Jim. He's not in a very good mood. Yeah, all of our people just took big pay cuts, and he went from like 2.1 to 1.3 million a year, and he's really upset about it." Yeah.
That is a big cut, though.
It's a big cut. Yep.
Yeah,
But that's the kind of money some of those guys were making out there.
1.3 in Los Angeles is what in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably
450, 500 in St. Louis.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah,
Doesn't that
I agree
seem
with that.
about
About 2.5x.
Yeah.
More expensive to live in, go, New York or L.A.?
I think L.A. because New York, you have a lot of public. I don't know.
I would say New York because there's less space. Like LA is massive.
Yeah, I'd say New York.
You may be right.
I
just
on
knee-jerk
TikTok, you
reaction.
see those apartments that people pay $1,200, $1,500
Yeah,
for, and they're it's the size of my studio.
I don't
currently.
think you could find anything in New York for $1,500.
But in L.A., there's not a lot of rentals. Am I correct? Again, I've never actually been to. Okay.
A lot of rentals because a lot of people can't afford the $1 million for the house.
Overall, Los Angeles is about 24% less expensive than New York City. The cost of living in L.A. is lower than in New York City thanks to far lower housing prices. On average, housing in L.A. is 34% cheaper than in New York City. Additionally, prices for groceries as well as restaurant prices are lower in Los Angeles than in New York City. That's from August 14th, 2022, from Property Club, whatever the hell that is.
God, if you just have an average Joe Schmo job, and I realize that's your, place you were born and raised in, dude, that'd be really hard to just not want to get the hell out of there. If you're working at a restaurant, where you're kind of doing a $40,000, $50,000 a year job, which is acceptable. But in New York, that's basically $10,000, $15,000, $20,000.
Just in the last year or so, with the inflation so high, people have moved out by the thousands out of New York and L.A.
You're doing what Young Page Views did. Lived with like 4 guys.
Yeah.
Because you can't afford it on your own. He was making good money. You can't afford it on your own if you want to live in a halfway decent place in a halfway decent area.
No.
Like, you can find a seedy place, a crap place in New York to live. It's still $4,000 a month. You can find a seedy place in L.A. for $1,100.
Yeah, New York is. I get the appeal because it's absolutely, it's always moving, hustle and bustle, and there's a huge amount of people that love that. I do to a certain extent. I just don't know if I could live there.
No, I
just could not live there. I'd love to go there for a week, 10 days, and just enjoy everything, But wow, it would be a really hard. That'd be a culture shock for me.
Too stressful.
Yeah.
Too intense for me.
I'm always feel like everybody always looks and feels like they're late. So everybody is in a rush.
Yeah.
A lot of anger in the engineer design facilities text inbox on a wide variety of topics. Let me start with an invite. Hey, Gape.
That could be any of us.
I hope.
Hey, Gape. You don't have a single hair on your sack if you wear a rubber. I haven't worn a rubber since I was 13, except for once when I banged a hooker at Cheeks deep in Washington Park. I felt it was necessary. She complained that the guy before me only wanted to spend 30 minutes performing oral on her.
Oh.
Well, what a treat that is to pay to perform oral on a hooker.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why is he always in Washington Park? Every text about Washington Park.
Well, he also has a text that he just sent in about that he went to Madison Square Garden last week and they didn't do the power play dance. So he's in Washington Park or Manhattan.
Yeah. Wow. Why Delta?
Let's see. Orson Woods Wacko, Listener of the Year nominee. Virgin, stick to Chaminade Vianney high school box scores and stay away from adult topics like sex and the cost of living. That's Orson Woods Wacko. Stephen Wildwood says Tim fired Michelle Smallman and she just took whatever she could get. That's from Stephen Wildwood. Let's see.
She landed on her feet anyway.
Yeah, she did. Let's see. Doug's work husband and others have said there is no way Boots got an offer from ESPN. Let's see. Little Beer Cats is back. Beer Cat says Lil Beer Cats will be one of the next great TMA contributors, but I have no idea who Plowsy just compared him to. No clue who that is. That's from Beer Cats.
Who did I compare him to again?
Dan Orlowski.
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't need to know who he is just yet, but he'll be screaming at a television near you very soon. Yeah, that dude's an up-and-coming screamer.
You cannot find a place for under $1,100 a month in Los Angeles, you uncultured swine.
No,
That's from DraftKings.
You can hardly find one in St. Louis.
Oh, you can't. I mean, 1,200 is about the minimum in terms of like. It depends on the. Again, it depends on the area.
You can find some kind of crap hole in Hollywood. That's just you're living in drug-infested area. That's run down for $1,100. I guarantee you could find one.
It sounds nice.
That sounds great.
No,
It's an open concept, living the dining.
They're terrible, but you can find one.
Have you looked?
I'm not going to look.
No.
He's the guy that said, I guarantee you go look.
I'm not living in California. I live in New York before I lived in California. Tax purposes, it just seems ridiculous.
New York's
got taxes, too.
What was it? I mean, what?
Big time.
It's up there.
In Cali, it's like 45%? Is it?
Similar in New York.
Is it? Okay.
Why don't you go live in Florida?
Yeah, I mean, Tim?
You want to move the show to Florida?
I'd love to move to Florida.
Can we get that legislation passed?
Yeah, I think that'd be beautiful.
I think we could pass that.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody would vote against it, as a matter of fact. I think we could unanimously do it.
I don't know who would vote against it.
Right.
Hubbard might vote against it.
No passport needed on that trip, baby.
Right.
Well, I was looking just for the hell of it this weekend at places there. My God.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. I don't know what the adjustment would be. I'd still say New York City's more expensive and LA is more expensive, but crap. As you always say, Doug, there's like, and I was looking on the Atlantic side, there's I don't know if I wouldn't call it a strip of land, but however much land between the ocean and the Everglades. So you only have that much land to work with. Now they continue to move it a little further west.
Oh, yeah.
But
the Florida housing prices spiked just in the last couple of years.
That's right.
It happened.
100%.
A friend of mine bought a condo there, like he said, 2015 for like $300,000, and the one next to it just went on the market for $1.2 million.
Oh my goodness!
That's in 7 years.
That's like monopoly.
It was all the byproduct of the pandemic because you had a lot of people. Speaking of taxes in the Northeast, who had lived in the Northeast for 6 months and then live in Florida for 6 months, tax purposes and also weather purposes. And they were, not super old, but wealthy and lived in their, Manhattan place or Connecticut place. And okay, who knows? We might get COVID. Who knows what the hell's going on? It perhaps sounds dumb now, but a couple of years ago, didn't know. And like, we're going to live for now, and we're not going to sit inside for 6 months a year when we can go down there and not pay taxes like this.
And Florida was pretty much wide open.
It was, 100%. I remember that, man. God. Yeah, I guess in 21 it would have been. Yeah, because when we left right away when it all started in March of 20, so 21. Yeah, and going out to dinner, Rocco's Tacos, Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
And didn't the one in near the Cardinal Spring Training Complex was shut down. There was a fire, so we went into West Palm Beach, a little further south, 15 minutes. And on top, it's packed, of course, but you're sitting right next to people. Nobody was wearing a mask, and it was just like, and I had just come from St. Louis, a couple days earlier, and I'm going, my God, it's like a totally different world here.
Yeah.
So you factor the taxes in, the weather in, the more, I don't know if I would call it instant gratification, because I think that comes with a negative tinge, but going, okay, I'm going to live for today, and I'm not going to sit inside for a number of months when it's, like this outside here in St. Louis. And that's what spiked it, because if you a St. Louis dollar is weaker than a New York dollar. And so you have people there, if they own in Manhattan, which, that's really doing something. But if you own a house in Connecticut, you sell that thing and you can buy a really nice place in New York or in Florida and have more space. So that's what happened. And then because they're just like, oh, $1.5 million, $2 million? Great. Don't care. Whatever it costs, get me out of New York City or Connecticut or Jersey.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. So away it went. Holy crap.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have to be on the water or right next to it, there are still some areas in Florida that are reasonable. Like outside of Tampa, if you go 15 miles inland to areas like Wesley Chapel or some of those, you can still find housing prices not too dissimilar than what you see here. Decent houses for, 400, 500.
Yeah, in Orlando area where my sister lives in Sanford, I think their house is maybe a little over $500,000, but they have 3 bedrooms. It's a nice house, pool. Well, everybody's got a pool. Just nice vegetation, palm trees, nice backyard, nice front yard. And it's in a great area. It's a gated community.
Yeah.
God, there's one in Marathon, Florida, 380 square feet for $500,000.
Now that would be right on the water. Right on the water.
I just randomly put it.
It's on the way down to the Keys.
Yeah, on the way to the Keys. But we do have a $4.9 million 19-bed, 15-bath. So it looks like a condominium that's up and needs redoing.
Shaq's house?
Dude, I'm telling you, that one looks like a good deal. Oh, here we go for the show. 9-bed, 10-bath, just built, $12 million, almost 10,000 square feet, right on the bay.
Why don't we put our money together?
Where is that?
Pick up this thing.
Marathon.
It was Marathon.
Man, that place looks
So,
unbelievable.
Doug, that's south of Miami?
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy moly.
Yeah, it's just a thin little strip of an island that
Doug,
is right on
you
the
see
water.
yourself living in something like that?
Oh, yeah, sure.
That looks
All right, when we go down there, we'll move the show down there.
2 pools,
And the
one
thing
indoor,
is,
one outdoor.
That's probably somebody's second or third house.
100%.
Yeah, that's the thing about Jupiter Island. A friend of mine, who, God bless him, has done well for himself, and he took us out on the boat that goes right where the Jupiter Lighthouse is, which is right by where the Cardinal Spring Training Complex is, and then you go a little north, and that's where Tiger's Place is, and you know, and you're just driving up this, I guess it's Jupiter Inlet on the boat, and he goes, the thing about it is most of these houses are empty about 9 months of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just, but the wealth is just so, it's otherworldly. DraftKings Cal wants to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
And,
just short headphones.
Maybe the job to get would be to house sit some of these mansions down there.
Why don't we do that? And we could also do a show.
Do a show out of the rec room.
Good morning, DraftKings Cal. You're on the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines.
Kenneth, is Ken there?
Yes, he's here.
Hey, when was the last time you looked at rental prices?
I don't know.
Well, he's a renter himself, so every time he pays the monthly rent, he looks at it.
Yeah, no, you know he's got some deal worked out. He couldn't afford his place right now if they charged him the regular rate. No chance.
How do you know?
Yeah, how do you know, DraftKings Cal?
Well, he's always talking about how he doesn't have any money and he doesn't want to move out of his place. He's got a little house, blah, blah, blah. He's lived there for like 50 years. I know you got a deal going on there somewhere, Ken.
And by the way, this doesn't sound like DraftKings Cal. DraftKings Cal usually had a more monotone, slower-paced delivery.
You sure did.
You've picked it up, DraftKings Cal.
Today, I'm a little worked up today.
Okay.
Oh.
I just got back from Crested Butte skiing, and I got to go back to work, and I'm not too happy about it. You guys been out there?
Are you still in Austin?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
I would imagine Austin cost of living has gone bat crap. I don't know how long you've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's bananas. I've been here for 3.5 years. I was looking for an apartment about 6 months ago. I mean, the market was a little crazier. Couldn't even find a one-bedroom for under $1,700.
So stupid. Like.
So the idea that Ken thinks that you could get an apartment for under $1,100 in LA, which is like, I don't know, probably 150% higher than Austin, is hilarious.
Huh, and that got you upset this morning.
Well, I wasn't too I mean, he just like throws out these comments and expects to not be held accountable, and then when you call him out, he's like, rah, 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 I don't know.
Well, he was just talking
I
about
don't live in Los Angeles.
Come on now.
I just made a comment that I guarantee you could find something like that, and then you want to hold me accountable? Did you look?
Well, you said guarantee. Yes, I was just out there. I have a bunch of friends that live out there.
Oh, you were looking for an apartment in L.A.
Blessed.
Well, I wasn't looking for an apartment. I don't want to live in L.A. L.A. sucks.
Well, how do you know what the prices are?
Out there.
Yeah, okay.
Because I have friends that live out there. It takes one quick Zillow search.
All right, so you believe your friends, you don't believe me.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to what was the guy's name that would fix all the production stuff for y'all that didn't exist?
Gino.
shout out to Gino for fixing the phone line because it sounds a lot better now. I can actually hear y'all.
Oh,
wow,
good.
look at us, Doug.
Nice going, Gino. Although he's at another station.
He works at like 20.
What do you guys think about skiing? Because I just got back, from Crestview, like I said, and like none of my St. Louis friends have ever been skiing before. Is that common?
Yes, and the reason why we don't want to start it up is your entire first ski trip is you learning how to ski.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, the
I'll let
fun,
Tim read it.
there's no fun in learning how to ski while your other friends are enjoying themselves on the mountain.
DraftKings Cal, I have some breaking news. Iggy has found a studio apartment in Los Angeles for $1,025 a month. It's at the Rayfield Apartments. Looks like a wonderful place. And so, Iggy, I think that's a win for you, isn't it?
Can you send that to me?
No, I don't. Tim is ready. You think Tim's
What
lying?
part of L.A. is that in?
What does it matter? It's Los Angeles. It wasn't a bet.
Dude,
I said seedy areas.
It's kind of a
This place
small
looks-
picture. They don't show you the big picture there.
This place just got cleaned up from a murder.
They don't show
too
you
clean,
that.
too clean. You could see there's still tape in the trash can.
And they've cropped out the gunman on the side of the building.
Huntington Apartments, $725 for a studio. The Roslyn Loft, $721 for a studio. Seniors Heritage Park at Woodman, $1,019.
That sounds like an old person
$925,
home.
$800, $995. Are you done yet?
Why don't we move?
All right, I'll step down. I'll step down.
Okay.
Why, Iggy, I mean, look at you.
Now, were these ghetto properties? Do we know?
I don't care. I said you can find a seedy place in LA for under $1,100.
Yeah.
I didn't say in the Hollywood Hills.
He said Hollywood.
There's a lot of people that live under Highway 183 here in Austin, and they don't pay anything.
Yeah.
Well, they're homeless. I'm not talking about homeless people.
Yeah, this place is right next to a
Now
California.
you're sounding stupid.
Dude, this place is next to two lottery places and a Lock and Key, like a half a block away.
Like payday loans? Can I get one of those?
DraftKings Cal, do you have anything else whatsoever?
Yeah, I don't want to put anybody on the spot here, but do we have any update on the Nagel video?
I don't know how to answer the question. Iggy, I know you were working with Joey on it. I know Joey has a lot on his plate. That's what I know.
Yeah, we've had a lot of events going on here, as you can imagine. A place like Hubbard that has 6 successful radio stations all doing things. So he's filming all of this. But I know we're pretty much done with the golf video, the golf portion of it. He was just going back, and because everybody had a different mic on. So he has to go back and look at all the feeds from the different mics to try and pick up maybe some witty banter that we missed. So there's a long process. But yeah, just keep watching and keep looking for it. It'll be up there eventually.
Where do you look?
Just keep watching the screen.
He knows it's not up anywhere, so he must be looking somewhere.
Oh.
So just keep looking where you're looking.
I mean, is there going to be an announcement when it releases it? Are you going to say something about it, or am I just going to have to sit on the YouTube page and just hit refresh?
Just keep watching.
Just keep watching and hit refresh, and maybe it'll be up for you, buddy.
Just keep watching nothing.
All right, sick. Hey, one more quick.
Oh my!
This is Biff.
What?
That fifth mic, it's got real mid boost issue.
Yes,
Doug, do you notice the mid boost?
No, I don't hear it.
If we can get Gino on that, I know Jackson said it's a cheaper mic. Do you guys need one?
Yes.
It barely hits registering, but it sounds like it's right next to you.
Is
it's
it
hard
this
to
one
explain.
over here in the cuck
yeah,
area?
Correct. Yes.
And I thought it was just Iggy's voice when he'd go over there, because he's got kind of that booming, confident radio voice. But then somebody was over there recently, and it still had that same bass mid boost deal that was really uncomfortable.
Okay, we'll work on the mid boost.
I don't know who was in the cuck studio over there.
Yeah, I don't know when anybody else has been on that mic other than you.
Yeah, unless you had.
I was on it once on Pepper and Genie.
Oh, wow.
I don't think we had it on.
Was it Doug on Pepper and Genie, DraftKings Cal?
I think it was.
There you go, Doug.
But I think there was another Pepper and Genie where Doug's mic wasn't on, and he was just kind of talking into the abyss.
Well, yeah, he kind of butted into our topic. So yeah, I wasn't prepared.
By the way, Pepper and Genie's great. Mr. Licks can suck it.
Wow!
Yeah, congratulations on your engagement, too, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, cheers to all. Doug, you can suck me.
Pot him down.
Oh, my.
Cut his mic.
Oh,
Pot him down.
No.
Pot him down.
No.
That was tough.
Gosh, didn't see that
Picked up
coming.
steam, though, at the last part of the call, though.
Yeah. He had a lot more energy than he normally
Yeah,
does. This ski trip did him a world of good.
That was just not usually. I thought Mr. Licks and DraftKings Cal essentially had the exact same delivery.
Yeah.
They did sound alike there, didn't they?
But not in that call, though. DraftKings Cal was all hopped up. For DraftKings Cal, anyway.
Who thinks? I think it could be the same guy.
Well, do you think Mr. Licks and DraftKings Cal are the same guy?
He went out of his way to say how much he loves Pepper and Genie.
Oh, you think he's like firing a bluff at the pot now? Wow. God, man, this is all meta.
Meeting Tucker, I was like, how did we get duped? This guy has like 50 voices he can do.
Yeah.
Met him at the Thursday night. He was out
Yeah,
there,
I
made
saw
an
it
appearance.
there.
Great.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Oh, my gosh. I had him do a Bruce. And, oh, man.
Oh, you had him do the voices right there in front of you?
Well, I just wanted to hear a Bruce, and he kind of introduced himself in that voice. And I was like, that's great, man. That's unreal.
I introduced myself to Tommy Cibulka because I think he might be the best, and he's at VIP Auto
Oh,
Accessories.
sure.
It's commercial van and truck upfitting and graphic solutions and public safety solutions. VIP Auto Accessories, your one-stop full-service shop for all your auto accessory needs. They do van and truck upfitting for commercial fleet vehicles. They provide graphic solutions for vehicles, retail office space, floors, windows, and more. And they have a full array of public safety solutions, including for EMS and police fleets. VIP is now a full-service operation, providing top-quality service and the ability to get it done now. VIP's one-stop shop will save you time and hassle. Go to VIPAutoAccessories.com or call Tommy Cibulka, 314-428-3900, or email him at tommy.cibulka@VIPAutoAccessories.com. That's Tommy Cibulka, VIP Auto Accessories. Hey, how about this? I was just thinking this morning, too, and I had no idea they were our partner this week. Friday night is pizza night. Uncle Leo's. Buy one, get one 50% off this week at Uncle Leo's.
Oh, that's such a nice deal.
I was already, I don't know what the hell made me think of it. It was like 5 in the morning. I was up at 4:45. Riding the bike, Doug. Riding the bike.
And wanting pizza.
And then I go to the refrigerator, and for whatever reason, I have no idea why I clicked, and I go, God, Uncle Leo's, I haven't had it in about a month. I'm kind of craving it. And then I see what Jackson has for me here in the captain's log. Friday night is pizza night. Uncle Leo's. Buy one, get one 50% off this week through Sunday. Work with those Miners boys.
Yeah.
I'm a Miners boys lemon.
Yeah, me too.
Friday night is pizza night. Let them know you're a TMA listener. Buy one, get one 50% off. My recommendation, Fungo wings. I have no idea what's in the sauce, but it's ridiculously good. I'd put it on everything. And then I get the 3-meat pizza.
3 meat.
Extra sauce, if you please, Joe
What are
and
these
John.
3 meats in particular?
Would you like to take a guess? I know you love guessing games.
Sausage, pepperoni,
Hamburger.
No.
chicken.
I don't know if that'll
No.
work.
Bacon?
That's correct.
Oh.
A lot of pluck.
Yeah.
Ew, poor pig.
They go heavy. So I like the veggie on a pizza.
Do you?
Might put my order in right now for Friday with the Miners boys.
I like onions and mushrooms. I like a meat
Deserve
in
the
it.
pie.
You need a meat in there. Like of any, like you just need a meat.
I don't
Man,
want pepperoni on my pizza.
I'm a big onion mushroom combo guy.
Are you?
So usually
Yeah, I
I do
like
a
that
ham. Can kind of go better with that. Ham, onion, mushroom is always good. Good pizza, especially thin crust, more so than the thicker.
No, we all designed a pizza a week or two ago for.
Yeah, pizza sauce.
Yeah, I wonder how that sold. We
I
had
love how
chicken
I-
and pineapple and everything.
Oh, I remember the pizza sauce. I just gave up after that. Okay, yeah, the one with the pizza sauce.
Nice choice by you to start the pizza off.
Warson Woods Wacko was not happy with DraftKings Cal's call, which is interesting because he condemned Mr. Licks. Wow, man, there's so many different factions. This is tribal out there right now. What a great look at me call. I was skiing. I have a ton of friends in L.A., live in Austin. You are a loser, Cal. It's Warson's Wacko. And then text right after the Warson's Wacko is Mr. Licks. I need to call in before you guys do Pepper and Genie. I'm nervous for what's to come later. That's from Mr. Licks. What would be the issue there?
I don't know, and we don't need it. I promise you. If you don't call, you won't be a topic on Pepper and Genie.
He hasn't given a speech yet for being Rookie of the Year.
I know. Call on in. Did I see you guys
But
talk
people
about...
were theorizing that he was at Harpo's, but he didn't come up to get his award, right? He was booed.
Yeah, because he was working.
He was working.
There's a lot of people that we didn't know.
Well, I would hope so. It'd be
Yeah,
a little concerning if we knew everybody in the audience.
So that he could have been there.
John Kiowski and Tommy Matter would probably have me for a meeting in the office if we only knew everybody in the audience.
We make our friends come.
Yeah, it was a nice year. You guys
Head on out.
All these people you have on retainer, they're all related to you. The gig is up.
Deke Dotem says, banana peppers on pizza get Bill's hole wet.
Oh.
See, I'm a peppercini
Banana
guy, and
peppers.
I think banana peppers and that are kind of one and the same.
Banana peppers are good, but they overpower the flavor of everything you put on them. Like if you put banana peppers on something, that's all you'll taste because they're so potent.
You know what I like to do?
What?
How I doll up my frozen bzaz?
Yeah.
So I'll put like cheese on it and seasoning, but I'll put like
What else?
I'll cut fresh jalapenos and put them on there.
Oh, all right. How's it treat you?
And then I will take a lot of the jalapenos off because, dude, they are intense. But that juice
Why put
from the
them on in the first
jalapeno,
place if you're going to take
because
them
Doug, again,
It's the juice?
that juice will seep into the cheese almost as if it's like a butter, and it is the spice is there, but you don't have to bite in every bite into a really big piece of jalapeno.
Well, if you want the flavor, all you do is you just cut it and take the seeds out.
Right.
And then you still get the flavor of the jalapeno,
That-
but you don't get the real hot
Okay.
bite
Yeah.
where it overpowers.
That's
it.
actually
seeds
a
are
good
what's
call.
hot.
You
Yeah,
need
oh, man.
tweezers to get the seeds out.
Toothpick will do.
Don't.
Fresh jalapenos are bomb, though, man.
Oh, are they?
Holy crap, they're so good. And burritos and omelets.
Oh, yeah.
On pizzas. Oh. That's why I'm saying the veggie just work better on like a pizza for me. I think
Somebody's asking me yesterday about that. Oh, I was talking to AD from K. She said he just bought like $60 worth of hot sauces. He says, "You like hot sauce?" I go, "No, I don't like anything hot."
I don't either.
Oh, I love me some hot
I think
sauce.
spices is nice.
Spices,
I don't
yeah,
want any
just
of it.
not heat, like jalapenos and any kind of hot chili peppers that just it burns your face off.
I had a-
Are you having a nice meal? Oh, this tastes good.
Oh, my God.
You drink 9
Carolina
glasses of milk
Reaper.
to try and.
Dude, Doug, thank you. I'll give you my point. I had a burger on Friday of a Carolina Reaper cheese,
Oh, yeah.
and that tore me up.
That's the hottest of the hot, isn't it?
I went like very confident, thinking, "Oh, it's just blended in with the cheese. It's not like a pepper on there."
No.
Big mistake. It was really good, but eventually it doesn't matter the taste when you can't actually physically like put it down because of the heat.
Yeah, I can't stand that. I have no
That's when
interest
I
in
draw
that
the
at all.
line. Yeah.
Put it down.
Huh.
Munganess St. Louis Acura and Toyota sponsor our 7 o'clock hour, which we are still in. And you can get 0.99% financing at Munganess St. Louis Acura on any Acura between now and January 3rd. And that locks you in for 36 months with the great Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, Peter Munganast, and all of the wonderful people at Munganast St. Louis Acura and Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota. Online at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. Work with the best. We love Munganast, the official automotive provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. Jackson, how does a QFTA sound for you today?
Sounds great.
Doug, let me look at my schedule.
Okay, take a look at it. You don't need to do that to kill time. We have time kill music. We need it.
At 1 p.m., I'm doing a podcast with Learn. Talk of the Town. That's her show.
No.
What's
Guess
the
he's
problem?
jealous over here.
Pardon me?
Cut that off.
Damn.
Jealous.
Yeah.
Of what?
Tim's doing a podcast with Learn today.
Good. It should be fun.
Yeah. Could have been you.
Why would it be me?
Well, I don't know.
I'm not the talk of the town.
No.
And then we have a sales meeting at 2, Doug. So,
Jackson? Pencil in for 4.
So now I'm looking. I think, and Jackson always likes it when I have a hard out because that keeps me from just snorting up all the Adderall. So 11:30 to 1 QFTA.
Yeah, U-Man's got a sound story at 12:30.
Oh my God! Even better for you.
Well, it'll be kind of close for you. When was the last time you did a QFT under an hour?
I will. I'll just have to because I got to get out of the studio.
If there's a hard
John
out.
Hewlett, he's got a sound story. No. I yield. I bend the knee for John Hewlett.
Absolutely.
You know?
The best.
Send your questions in, although we have a bunch already stored up, but, store them up. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com for QFTA. We'll do that following Balloon Party. John Hewlett in for a sound story. Learns podcast. Sales meeting. Doug, anything else on the itinerary
That seems
today?
like about it.
I think that'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
I think we're doing the Polar Express.
Are you doing that tonight?
It's either tonight or next Monday. Anna Marie's going back and forth on the dates.
I've heard that's fun.
Yeah, we've done it a couple times.
Yeah.
It's always odd when you get a chance to see Santa and you're fearing for his life when you see
He's
what
got
he
a
is.
bodyguard.
Isn't he perched on something?
Yes. Stunningly, there's an abandoned building when you go a little north of downtown,
and Santa's just hanging out there on the streets.
I swear to you, I thought, God, I guess I'm screwing around with mushrooms again. But yet here I am with a chocolate chip cookie and hot chocolate with my 2-year-old. But if I'm not mistaken, they said there's Santa, and damn it, Doug, if he wasn't on top of an abandoned building, waving.
He's on the
body armor, I hope.
He's on the Margaret Thatcher.
I believe it was the Becky Thatcher. The Margaret Thatcher's closer to the Thames.
Body armor on.
Sorry.
They don't even attempt to put him someplace nice.
It was stunned. I gotta see it again to make sure that I wasn't like hopped up on something.
I guess he's got to be right by a train track, and that only goes by certain areas.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Alarming.
Roll them up, kids. Roll them up.
Tim, can I just say it's a lemming move, but last week's QFTA was the best in a while. Finding out Jackson can't spell squirrel was insightful. That's from the retired air marshal. Yeah, Jackson can't spell the word squirrel for some reason.
SQUIRRELL. Maybe I can't spell it either.
It's a tough word to spell.
Yeah. Are there
I didn't know that it
two
was.
R's?
It's kind of like how some people really don't like certain words, the sound of them.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 R's, 1 L, I think.
That's correct, Iggy. You are correct.
Okay.
But it really trips Jackson up. What was the title last? TikToks and Cockpicks, I think, was the title last.
Yeah, bingo.
How often do you have to spell squirrel?
Well, I don't know. You always want to have it in the holster, but I grew up with.
Do you want to have it in the holster?
I just think
I grew up with spell check.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Spell check. People don't have to spell anymore.
I grew up with it, so like having it forever. If I just get close, I let the software do the work. Same with handwriting. My handwriting is abysmal. Lisa Ann commented on it.
I'm telling you, when I was getting those envelopes to read the winners,
it's awful.
Lisa Ann's like, this is rough. She said, we're going to work on a penmanship class while you were rooming with her in Jamaica.
Well, that I've always had terrible fine motor skills, and then you combine that with basically typing up every school assignment from high school on, and bad handwriting.
Tim, you were not hopped up on anything. For some reason, that Santa is posted up near burning abandoned buildings, dirty needles. That's Nathan from the east side of all. All right, I thought that's what I saw.
Come get a picture of Santa.
It made me sad. Honestly, it made me sad.
Yeah, our town.
That's what I was thinking.
No place to put Santa where he's safe. How sad is that? You see, now they're going to redo the AT&T building and make that 300 apartments and like 300 hotel rooms. And a bunch of office space. Who's moving into office space downtown?
I think.
No, you want to move down there? You want to move to Florida? Take your pick.
Florida.
We can go. All right. Well,
you need to revitalize the downtown before you build apartments to get people to come and live there. I think that's what they need to do.
Well, how do you revitalize it?
Dude, I'm telling you, streetlights. Just dropping the mic right there.
Streetlights.
Well, better streetlights downtown is. Dude, have you ever walked downtown? I'm very confident that I'm not in any danger. I try to give the city the benefit of the doubt. But dude,
during the day or at night?
At night, I'm telling you, if you walk in any city at night, there's street lights every half a block. Every half of a block. It deters a lot of the riffraff. I realize cops
More
don't
police
patrol
would be
down
nice.
there. That would be nice, but again, that's the same old recycled argument. But
because that's what you need.
But the lighting downtown is absolutely atrocious. It's insane. There are so many dimly lit alley cornerway area to where it just.
Well, maybe they could put some of that Rams money into lights.
It's embarrassing. I know that sounds so simple. I'm not saying it's going to eliminate crime, but it just brightens up everything that you see. So there could be eyewitnesses. Maybe people try to avoid the snatch and runs or the carjacking because it's so visible. The lighting is just miserable. And there's a bunch of abandoned buildings, but you're not going to fix that because they're historical.
Stephen Wildwood says they're putting up a new building right next to Wheelhouse. Steve Wildwood, downtown resident. Mr. Lick says, I will not be able to call in until after 9, so don't wait on me.
Third shift didn't get
Write
a
that
break,
down,
I think,
Jackson.
or-
All the other plans we have, scratch them after 9.
All right, Doug, it's time to close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. It's 8:20. Got some Cardinal news here from Ken Rosenthal this morning that people are going to want to hear with regards to what transpired with Contreras and Sean Murphy now that Murphy is a member of the Braves. We'll have that for you on the other side of the break. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Bret Michaels is bringing something he's calling Party Gras to St. Louis Friday, July 28th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, part of the Allegiant Airways concert series, featuring music from Bret Michaels, Night Ranger, Jefferson Starship, Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray, and Steve Augeri, former lead singer of Journey. No, not the original guy, but not the current guy. The guy in between. That guy. Anyway, you could go to the show for free. Sign up now on the TMA app or at TMASTL.com. You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan for Design Air Heating and Cooling. I am a very happy client. Design Air Heating and Cooling and Seth Goldcamp and his incredible staff, which you can find online at designairservice.com. Just go to the website, click on the Book Now tab, and any issues you may be having with your HVAC system, they will take care of immediately. The customer service, second to none. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm here with Ryan Kelly, and a lot of people are sitting there, Ryan, with that 2.5% interest rate, and so they need cash right now, but they don't want to mess with that first mortgage. Well, you have a solution for them here with a home equity line of credit.
Absolutely. Folks got a great rate over the last few years, but they know they have equity, and they could really use that home equity now to get caught up on bills and just to get through the month. And that's why the home equity line of credit is a perfect product. Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
Hey, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that's always a great time to gather at Rosalita's. Why not start off with a happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m.? Enjoy happy hour specials including $3 off of appetizers like the wildly popular Carne con Cerveza, marinated steak cooked to order and served on a sizzling skillet. The patio is heated and covered, plus Rosalita's offers live music on Thursdays and mariachi every weekend. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Your favorite spirits like Hendrick's Gin and Monkey Shoulder Vatted Malt Whiskey are now available in premium, ready-to-serve cocktails thanks to Batch and Bottle. Try the Lazy Old Fashioned, Rhubarb Cosmo, Gin Martini, or Scotch Manhattan. Simply chill, pour, and garnish. Each bottle serves 4 to 5 cocktails, so grab a few for your next party and spend less time in the kitchen and more time in the conversation. Just look for the black bottle with the gold cap. That's Batch and Bottle Premium Ready-to-Serve Cocktails. Batch and Bottle Premium Pre-Batch Cocktails, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc., New York, New York.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open. Pepperoncini. 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 Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
This is Tim McKernan here to tell you about Sound Story. Holidays are quickly approaching, and if you are looking for the perfect gift to give, you can find it at mysoundstory.com. And this week, Sound Story gift cards are 20% off when you enter promo code GIFT at mysoundstory.com. With Sound Story, you have the choice of Doug Vaughn, Action Jackson, or myself to interview your mother, or your father, or your grandmother, or your grandfather, or yourself to record life stories and wisdom for all of your family. It's the kind of gift that you'll never regret giving. It's the rare gift that everyone will love, not just this year, but for years to come. Just go to mysoundstory.com to receive this holiday special discount of 20% off the cost of a Sound Story gift certificate by entering promo code GIFT, and you will be giving your family the gift of keeping your family story saved forever. It's Sound Story. Promo code GIFT for 20% off this week at mysoundstory.com.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com.
I spent 4 years in San Francisco.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT-FM, HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Really nice music. Really nice. Sophisticated.
Greg really liked this.
Greg?
Warren.
Oh, that's right.
Played it for him.
You could write this in like 6th or 7th grade, couldn't you? No.
Oh, this is...
Ugh. And Wellington got blocked by her.
I just like to be a fly on the wall during these recording sessions.
It's like Dirk Diggler and John C. Riley. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. It's a program broadcasting from the Michelob Ultra Studios, and it is our pleasure to welcome to the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines our title sponsor, the great Ryan Kelly.
Oh.
Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Ryan.
Good morning, gentlemen. I wish I was there with you. I'll tell you that.
Well,
but I can't be.
It's a beautiful
I have
day.
To be here. I have to be here at the mortgage business. It's a wild day today. It's a great day for consumers, for homeowners out there, for people thinking about buying a home, and haven't been able to say that very often over the last 12 months. But those that are following saw today that the numbers came in a little bit better than expected. The inflation numbers, the consumer price index, came down to 7.1. That is 0.2 better than what the market was expecting. Long story short, mortgage rates continue to tumble. So there you go. And those numbers were better last month as well. So now we're on a 2-month trend of improving mortgage rates. And I got to tell you, once they got up in the 7s or even the mid-7s 2 months ago, we didn't know what the heck we were going to do. Like, the whole industry was like, 7s are pretty bad. But here we are again today with another big decrease. So if you've been sitting on the sideline, if you've been thinking about a refinance, you've been thinking about buying a home, call us right now. Like, we are glued to our chairs, taking calls, working up options, locking folks in. And here's the best part. Lock in today while rates are dropping, and if they continue to drop, we'll relock you before closing. How about that? So you can get protected on a great day like today, on a great rate for a refinance, and then we'll just monitor it between now and closing and continue to get you the lowest rate we possibly can. Call about options today. Let's look at a refinance. I mean it when I tell you we've been on the phones for over an hour already. Let's see how much money we can save you today by visiting thehomeloanexpert.com. Thanks, boys.
Thank you, Ryan. Doug, there he is.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
TheHomeLoanExpert.com. Very sad breaking news this morning. Mike Leach has passed away.
Yeah, I saw that.
He had a heart attack on Sunday morning and was in the hospital and passed away this morning.
at the age of 61. His family said in a statement that I guess it would have been Sunday, right? I don't know what I said when he had the heart attack.
Yeah.
That Leach participated in an organ donation at the University of Mississippi Medical Center as a final act of charity. We are supported and uplifted by the outpouring of love and prayers from family, friends, Mississippi State University, the hospital staff, and football fans around the world. Thank you for sharing in the joy of our beloved husband and father's life.
He was a fun guy. He made college football more entertaining.
You better believe it. Both with the style of play and the interviews.
Right. A real character. I never met him, never interviewed him or anything. But just from what I've seen him on TV and everything, he seemed like he'd just be a great guy to be around.
Yeah.
Really wanted Missouri to hire him. What was that, after Washington State? Was it before Mississippi State with that win?
Coach of the Year at Washington State one year.
Yeah. Man, his sound bites were great. Like, just...
Yeah, he was Coach of the Year in 2018 at Washington State.
Yeah. I mean, you hear the players, former players and present talk about him. I mean, obviously, it'd be hard not to like a guy like that.
Yeah. Just completely off the wall at sometimes. But always funny and seemed positive about it. And kind of took it, kept it in perspective that it was a game. And had fun with it at every step of the way, it appeared. Very sad.
He was nicknamed the Pirate because he had an affinity for pirates and even had a life-size statue of a singing pirate in his office when he was at Washington State. And it was a gift from Bobby Knight, who was the basketball coach at Texas Tech when Leach was the football coach.
Oh, there are two personalities there in one athletic department.
God, yeah. Well, he'll be missed, that's for sure.
Never one to shy away from opining on any subject. Leach once said, "I miss streakers," after a fan ran onto the field and dropped his pants following a touchdown in Washington State's win over Stanford in 2017.
You used to see him all the time. Back in the 70s, it was quite the rage.
Well, now it's like felonies. I don't know if they took it as seriously back then, but now, like, you get, like, indecent exposure and...
I think he once gave at a press conference, he just started out by talking about his 5 favorite burgers, I think.
Yeah.
My favorite Leach thing is, and I'm reading this right now, is during the spring of 2019, Leach co-taught a 5-week seminar at Washington State, Insurgent Warfare and Football Strategies, alongside Washington politician Michael Baumgartner. I just think that's hilarious. Insurgent Warfare and Football Strategies. Best, man.
I guess I'd go In-N-Out, Steak and Shake, Five Guys. The French fries are tough to beat, really, at all of them.
Those are his, like, press conferences, man. That's perfect.
You got to have a lot of confidence in yourself to do that kind of thing at a press conference.
Well, he's a damn good coach.
Secure.
I think in personality, maybe he probably took over, like, his actual skill set. Didn't get a ton of the best recruits, but certainly had good seasons. Washington State's a hard place to win at, I would assume.
Well, he had that 2008 Texas Tech team.
Yeah.
Famous game beating Colt McCoy and the Longhorns.
Yeah.
With that Crabtree?
Michael Crabtree, yeah.
Oh, that was great.
You just put an enormous donut in your mouth just now? Oh, you've got one of those cinnamon rolls, haven't you?
Oh, Bill's cinnamon rolls.
God, it was a big chunk that went in there, too. Man, that was... Just that bite alone had to have 1,200 calories.
Way too big a bite.
But it looked good.
Saw it.
It looked very good.
Apologies.
Do you have a top 5 donut place?
Oh, number 1, Donut Drive-In. I don't think there needed to be a number 2.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, kidding me? Donut
That's where you get all your donuts?
All of them. I absolutely love that place.
Yeah.
What's your brother's place?
It's Donut Drive-In.
There you go.
But I've never, ever talked about it on the radio intentionally.
Yeah, Donut Drive-In.
There's that.
So you own that, too?
Sorry.
The parking lot, the show, the donuts.
Well, I don't shy away from it.
Well,
it's a good place. I mean, they've helped us out at our golf tournaments.
Yeah, that place is...
Serving breakfast.
Their pickup window is sneaky good on the weekends.
Is it?
Yeah. Order it the day before, and then you have the ability to, avoid any lines and get right up to that little kiosk. It's great.
You remember the last time I had a donut?
Can't get enough of them. I'm addicted. I love them.
Yeah.
I used to get them at Schnucks, but then I saw some guy fingering them all one day.
And fingering them?
Yeah.
Like digitally pleasuring
There's
them.
tongs in there. This guy, I'm getting ready to get a couple of custards. And this guy's, it's not fresh, You just fingering all those donuts?
Yeah.
There's tongs there, idiot.
Use the tongs, idiot.
So I refuse to get donuts now because I know there's somebody in there's touching them all.
I'm not sure there's anything that tastes any better than a really good donut. Just as far as a treat for your taste buds.
You like them cream-filled?
You know, how do you like them?
Well, I like just about all of them.
You
That's
like the lemon
problem.
tart?
Sure.
Yeah.
I want lemon in my donut.
Oh, come on. Better than...
It's like a lemon meringue pie.
Oh, it's great.
Ew.
Oh, my God. Apple fritters?
Ew.
I used to make them. I used to make cream puffs.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but you take that Ready Whip and you stick that nozzle in there and you squeeze it. And if you go too quick, it blows up.
Blows up the donut?
Yeah, because...
Oh, my.
I told you we have some of that from leftover from Thanksgiving, obviously, pumpkin pie, and it's late at night. I'm shaking it up, wanting to get a big fat dab right there in my mouth before bed.
Good for you.
Colin Ellen says Iggy's a vault with an eye roll emoji.
What?
Iggy's evolved, did it say?
Is a vault, as in, like, he
Vault.
keeps secrets.
Oh,
A vault.
a vault.
With an eye roll emoji. Colin Ellen did not win worst caller of the year.
You may get it for that one.
Are we doing worst texter?
But I don't know what that means. I'm a vault. I'm an eye roll. Ugh.
You're keeping secrets, I think.
Now, the donut drive-in
secrets?
thing, I don't know if Tim wanted anybody to know.
I said I can't remember the last time I had a donut.
Plowhawk is right. The reasoning being because I know that there is a portion of the population obsessed with hating me, and I don't want my brother and anything he's affiliated or anybody in my family to deal with that. So it's like with my kids. When I was backstage with Riz at the Jeff Burton thing last week, I met his son and his daughter, and he said I can't remember what he said. He calls them on the radio, but he calls them like, whatever, some kind of doesn't give the names.
Big Cat does the same thing.
Is that right? I mean,
Yeah,
and I look back and I go, yeah, I
Well,
I know, man. You were doing it. It's like talking about when I joined Westboro, which is not a big deal, but it's not the type of thing you flash.
Do you
First
own
off,
that
it's
also?
not a flash.
You don't own the country club.
So I don't know.
Just the pool.
No, but when he would come out to the
Darn
golf
it.
tournament, you mentioned that he ran the place.
No, I absolutely would never do that. 100%.
Well, what a great
I would have known you.
I mean, it might have been brought up before by other people, and it's fine. It's not. I believe that's what Caller Ellen is making reference to.
Well.
That's what it is. But it's not like you did it to be an ass. It was a.
No,
but I consciously don't do it because I don't want my family dragged in to deal with some of the crap that I deal with.
What an endorsement. I had no idea, and that's my
Oh,
favorite
you really
donut
didn't know
shop.
he owned it?
I had no idea.
Is that right? Oh, I
Pretty
thought
much-
I thought you were just saying that just because.
Oh, dude, no, Donut Drive-In, the real deal. That Chippewa area with Ted Drews and Lion Choice, oh, man, you can make a
LeGrand's
damn
right there, too.
Oh,
Ooh, how do you
hell
do?
yeah.
Pretty much all of South City is owned by the McKernan family.
Correct.
They've got
Took it
long
over.
tentacles.
It's a harsh battle between the Irish and the Italians in the 60s. Came
That's
out
why
on
if you're,
top.
if you're homeless and you're begging for money, that's where you do it because you have places to go.
Where, McKernan Way?
I mean, if you do it where
In
I
a
was,
donut shop?
well, you have restaurants there, fast food places, donuts, all kinds of things.
If you're looking for, that
But I see the guy every time that on Wednesdays I go pick up my fish there, and I have to get off on Bridgeton or on St. Charles Rock Road there, and the guy's right there. Where are you going from here? You get some money, but how are you getting there? And there's no place close to get food here.
Parked his
Well,
Lexus about a block away.
For most of them, it's probably more about money than food or drugs.
Yeah, but you should be somewhere where you can actually get a bus or wherever you're going. There's no place to go there.
They might have been dropped off.
I saw a guy one time, and I know some of them are scammers, but I feel bad if he's got a sign, he's homeless, he's got a knapsack. I said, I'll give a couple bucks. I did it one time. I gave a guy $5, and I'm not lying. This is a true story. It was right on...
Where was it?
Well, it was right off of Bennington.
Right by your crib.
Yeah. I forget what cross street that was. But it was a stop sign. I gave him $5. A couple hours later, I went shopping. He was in Schnucks buying a bottle of bourbon.
No fooling. What a shock.
I looked at him. I said, dude, I gave you $5 earlier because you said you're buying booze? I got to stay warm. Oh, my ass. Come on.
That's a good...
You're ruining it for everybody else that is homeless.
What a good line on
You're
his
ruining
part.
it for the homeless people.
Well, you want to believe them. They're down on their luck. I mean, it happens to everybody. You can have a great job and You get laid off or fired, and you don't have any savings, and that's what happens.
You never know when a furlough is right around the corner.
Yeah, you may see me in a corner one day. You don't know. It can happen to anybody. But I feel bad for them, but then there are people out there scamming.
Tim, I always wondered why you didn't mention that your brother owned Donut Drive-In. I had a post on the fan page taken down once about it, and always wondered. Thank you for explaining. Makes sense. Strode is dumb. That's from Los Lonely Boys. I think I need to correct the record because two different people have said that it was talked about at one of the golf tournaments, maybe the recent one. I think he's done the donuts for the last couple. So I'm not angry in the slightest at Iggy about it. It was unintentional. I know that I didn't bring it up. If I did bring it up at the Dotem, it would have been brought up before. And I'm sure some people are listening going, why do you even care? But I assure you that I know that it just could turn into a thing. So it's why I never talked about it. You know,
you guys have never seen the emails,
right? That's that's it. I mean, the five people in here understand, and that's why Rizzuto doesn't give his kids names either. It's just a weird deal, and it's 0.01% of the audience or whatever it is, but you just don't want your family exposed to some of the stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's the reason. But if you heard me say it before, and if I did say it before, then but I know you didn't do it to like piss me off. It's if anything, I'm proud of him. He's my younger brother, and he's got a bunch of different things going on, and I'm very happy. He's a hell of an entrepreneur.
That's the only way I knew that he ran it. Yeah, it was brought up during the Lemmings.
Man, he was so. I remember sitting over at his place. God, I don't know when it was, a few years ago, and he was talking about some of the things that went into the deal, and I'm like, God, because that's where we grew up. My parents' place is still, if it's a mile from there, I'd be surprised, on Tam Avenue, hence the Tam Avenue Capital Partners. And God, I mean, donut shop, the hell, but he saw ways to increase the business that they weren't doing at the time. Plus there was another element to the deal that he really liked. And I'm like, and then I see how it plays out, and I'm like, I tip my cap.
We're there almost every Saturday morning. Every Saturday.
Because he's a teacher. I mean, he was an intern on our show, hence thanks to my brother Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
That is why that goes on 15 years later. He was an intern on our show, and then he was a teacher. I mean, he still is a teacher. He still teaches. But he's taught at a bunch of high schools in the area, and now he's turned himself into a...
Well, who's making these donuts?
I don't know.
The staff. If something's right, you don't mess with it. And it works, so you don't touch it.
Their staff is so nice there, too. I know this is like it just... I can't say enough nice things. Never had a bad donut there. Never had a bad experience.
How many donuts you eat a week, guy?
I don't know. I really don't know. 8?
Better than one a day pace. All right. And still never gain a pound.
No.
Well, you're not a vault.
We had tuna. I made tuna helper last night.
Yeah. They'll shave a few pounds off.
Well,
tuna helper will be a healthy dish.
Well, then we put like a half rack of cheese on it and then baked it.
Yeah.
I had one of those Smithfield...
Doing that today.
Pork loins.
I'm doing that today.
A Smithfield pork
It's the easiest thing to do, Doug. You throw it on a pan and literally put it in the oven. It's pre-seasoned. It's unreal. Cuts like butter.
Really?
It's the easiest.
Smithfield, you say?
Yep, just making some biscuits on the side tonight and have a nice little dish.
Huh. Well, I haven't had that.
Oh, it's a treat.
Is it?
Oh, it's a damn treat.
Guys, I saw a guy at a fast food restaurant in Florida who looked homeless, and I tried to give him money. Turns out he doesn't wear Nautica out of necessity. That's from Steve, Doug, and he's in Wildwood at the moment.
What was that story again, Iggy? Somebody thought you were homeless and wandering the Publix parking lot. What was the exact...
No, we were in Lauderdale because we had, that's what most people do when they're leaving West Palm. They drive to Florida and then fly to Orlando for 2.5 hours and fly home. But Joe Rod needed a McDonald's stop on the way.
Of course.
This is pre-marathon, I do believe.
This is when he had boobs.
Can't go to the airport without
This is when he had boobs.
Quarter pounder.
So we were driving this, I think it was called the Colorado, was the name of the truck? I think.
Yeah, the Chevy Colorado, yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's like a $50,000 truck. And I'm going to the airport. I'm going home. I'm not worried what it look like. So he went in to get food, and I said, I'm going to smoke.
You didn't need food.
And some lady had a beautiful car. I forgot what it was, but it was a beautiful red color. And I just want to comment on the color.
Ferrari, probably.
No, I think it was a Mini Cooper, actually.
Mini Cooper or Ferrari, yeah.
'Cause I've always loved Mini Coopers.
Yeah, small.
So I was walking up to her to ask about her car. She goes,
hello, gal.
I don't have any money. I don't have any money. Sorry, get away.
Oh.
I said, what? You think I'm homeless? I said, I'm about to get in this $50,000 truck over here. Do you think I'm homeless? But she thought I was going to beg for money.
I love the instinct.
I said, I was just going to tell you how nice your car looks. So.
The Mini Cooper?
I love Mini Coopers.
How long until after she exited the McDonald's did she have sights set on Iggy, knowing that this dude probably going to come up?
Well, that's back when I had the long hair. And
Scraggly hair.
yeah, I probably looked homeless.
Yeah. Well, is that a blow to your ego at all?
I don't care.
I deep teased the Ken Rosenthal news, and I wanted to make sure that I deliver on it because inevitably I think I convert about 10% of the teases and then just completely forget about them, and then we never deliver.
Got to get better at teasing.
That's exactly right. That's why you have to get better at teasing. According to Ken Rosenthal, with regards to the Cardinals and Murphy, Rosenthal's writing a story this morning on The Athletic about the Brewers and the trade with the Braves and the A's, the three-team trade that led to Murphy going to the Braves. And he said that they made the move because the Cardinals could never get a deal done with the A's. He cites the Post-Dispatch, reporting that the A's sought a return from the Cardinals that included Lars Nootbaar and Brendan Donovan. And then says another source briefed on the talk said the A's wanted Nootbaar or Donovan. Plus, how do you pronounce this guy's name?
Gracefino or what?
No, it's definitely not that because there's no
minor league pitcher.
Yeah.
Just say right-hander. Hard-throwing right-hander.
Power young pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals were unwilling to trade any of those players. And instead, this is the news. And instead, wanted the A's to choose 2 from a group of 4. Doug, you love a good guessing game.
Oh.
Who are the group of 4?
Are these current major leaguers?
Yes.
Okay. Kisner.
No.
Herrera.
No.
They didn't want to catch in return.
This is for Doug and Doug only.
Oh. Not Carlson.
Carlson's one of them.
Okay. O'Neill.
No.
No. DeYoung.
No.
Feeling great.
That's why I say this is newsworthy. Hence the tease.
Nootbaar, one of those. Nootbaar.
No.
How many of them are pitchers?
Probably a lot of them.
0.
Really?
No pitchers.
That's why.
Well, who's left?
You guessed
Edman?
Carlson.
Edman?
Nope.
No, not Edman. There's no one left.
The group of 4 that the A's were told to choose 2 from the Cardinals, and then the Cardinals would have acquired Murphy, were Carlson, Gorman, Yepes, and Alec Burleson.
Oh.
So we just
yeah. I can see Yepes and Burleson. They're probably pretty easy to replace. But wouldn't you have hated to lose Carlson and Gorman? Yeah.
I just am. I would. Maybe I'm off the mark. I am, and here's the thing: I don't even know how to pronounce the minor league pitcher's name, so I have no idea what his value is, his perceived value.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of the equation on it. And if anything, it discredits my opinion, I think. With that said, just from afar, I would think that the Cardinals would be more comfortable with parting with Nootbaar or Donovan and the young pitcher, Gracefo.
Hard-throwing young righty.
EFFO.
Who are the 4 the Cardinals?
Then Carl, 2 of the 4 of Carlson, Gorman, Burleson, Yepes. I just.
So they could have given a Nootbaar and some.
But again, that's the thing. None of us even know about this guy, so maybe he's, incredible. And
I really the pressure they put on Carlson and Lars Nootbaar is.
But then they were willing to part with him.
Yeah.
I want to reemphasize. Do you see what I'm saying, Doug? When I say you would think, at least I would think, that they'd be more comfortable parting with Donovan and Nootbaar than pick any of these 4 and include. Listen, you might be like you said, Burleson. I don't know, although Burleson was a hot prospect less than a year ago. Yepes, same case. but we're doing all of this by hearsay, realistically. But again, Carlson was the guy that was talked about when it came to the Soto thing. Now, it wasn't Soto for Carlson. Let's make that clear.
Yeah,
but there was a lot of talk about that. And then there was only 2 months later, and now they're offering him up to the A's for Murphy.
I wonder when the Soto thing came along, if Washington Washington didn't even want Carlson.
Right.
And so Mozeliak said to Carlson, don't worry, you're not going on that trade. That's different than, don't worry, we'll never trade you.
Right.
Well, it didn't matter what they weren't going to give up anything for a year and a half, and there's no way they were going to sign him.
Graceffo has a sub-3 ERA in 2 years in the minor leagues and 1.02 WHIP. He's 22 years old.
The players they wound up getting are pretty impressive prospects. The one was the Braves' #1 pitching prospect. And they got 3 players, and they were all highly touted young guys, which is exactly what Oakland wants. Just keep spinning your wheels with young players. Then when they get good, trade them away for more young players.
There you go. Yep.
And all they wanted from the Cardinals was 2 players?
Well, the Cardinals wanted to trade the A's 2 of those 4. According to Ken Rosenthal, Carlson, Gorman, Burleson, Yepez. Take your pick.
But the A's wanted one or the other of Nootbaar.
According to the Post-Dispatch,
they wanted both. According to Rosenthal, they wanted one of the 2 and a pitcher.
Let me just read it. The Post-Dispatch said the A's sought a return from the Cardinals that included Nootbaar, Donovan, and, so 3, Graceffo. That's the minor league pitcher. The Cardinals' response, or the Cardinals were not willing to trade any of those players, which kind of surprises me, but okay. And instead wanted the A's to choose 2 of the 4, Carlson, Gorman, Burleson, Yepez. And that's what surprises me.
Oh, I thought Rosenthal said the Athletic said that the A's actually wanted one of those 2 and a pitcher.
No. I just don't.
So the Post-Dispatch reported that a more, and this is by no means, don't take it as such, a more Cardinal favorable stance, I think, that the Cardinals were not willing to part with Nootbaar, Donovan, and Graceffo for Murphy. And what Rosenthal is reporting is something that I think would be really eye-opening to Cardinals fans, which is why I'm spending time on it, is that the Cardinals offered 4 players and said you can take 2, and then you can have Murphy. And that's Carlson, Gorman, Burleson, and Yepez.
I'm just dumbfounded by the Lars Nootbaar is untradeable thing.
But let's be fair. There's 2 other people with him. And if it's Nootbaar for Murphy, I go, what in the world? But if it's Nootbaar, Donovan, who they obviously value his defense. He came on strong. He had a great spring, and then he was able to carry it over into the regular season.
Did he win a Gold Glove?
And he won a Gold
Glove guy.
Gold Glove, and then a guy that I just don't know anything about. I look at stats all day long, but I don't know anything about what Graceffo does. I don't know how to pronounce his effing name until 3 minutes ago. So I don't know on that. Now, if you tell me Plowhawk, Nootbaar for Murphy, and they say no, I'd go, what in the world? Yeah. But it's Nootbaar, Donovan, and Graceffo. That changes me.
I think it seems, and I know we fall in love with our prospects, so I can't blame them. It seems like a fair trade, though, because of the control aspect you have with Murphy. You're paying, Contreras is obviously a little bit better than Murphy, but you're also paying him $17.5 for the next 5 years. Now, if they were going to spend that $85.5 million that they gave Contreras to somebody and decided, Contreras is our guy, can throw the only catcher, then I'd have a problem with turning down that trade. I think the trade worked. If Mason Wynn is that good, you hear Mason Wynn, he's untradeable. Look at all these, highlights. Then, losing Brendan Donovan doesn't seem to be that big, huge issue. I mean, I don't know. You have a DH position for Contreras, so Kisner can start, so you don't need Donovan for a DH position. I don't know. I think the trade is fair just because of the 3 years or 2.5, 3 years of control you have for Murphy. I think is huge. And the Cardinals always look for cost controllable, productive players. So Lars Nootbaar better be the deal. He better be at 600 a bat, then better be the guy. And Carlson better be the same because, you've avoided Murphy and Soto because of your. I know it's not 1-for-1, but those were the cornerstones in both of those trades. Yeah. Carlson for Soto and
Well, Murphy's a good player. He's not Johnny Bench, not Mike
I didn't
Piazza.
say that either, but
No,
I'm saying
I mean, you
3 years
can't-
of control.
You can't expect either Newt Barr as an all-star or the trade didn't make any sense.
What did Molina make last year?
It was 17-ish, something like that.
Was it really with that much? Man.
Yeah, they lost Quintana.
15.
They really haven't added to the payroll yet, so.
Yeah, I'm really confused.
Signed a guy to an $87 million contract.
All right, well, I'm just talking about $17 million this year.
Yeah, they've made $10 million last year.
I'm confused with what the Cardinals are doing with their roster.
There were increases for players already on the roster. You have to factor that.
Well, they may yet use some of these players in a deal to get some pitching.
I would agree with that. I would agree with you.
So you got a good catcher. You got a better hitter than Murphy as your catcher, and you haven't lost any of those prospects.
The off-season is not over. It's like last week, I guess on Wednesday, I came in after root canal day at the ballpark, and people were freaking out. And that's what Randy said when I went down the hallway. And then like 10 minutes later, the Contreras news came. But I'm going, my God, it's December 7th. And you're screaming about the Cardinals not doing anything.
Yeah.
Listen, if it's February 7th, they haven't done anything, it's a different conversation, but it's December 7th. I've just been around this long enough to kind of know that there's a process.
If Walker is the player we think he might be, and if O'Neill can turn back the clock to 2021, get even close to that, then you've got 5 really big hitters in the middle of the lineup, all right-handed, but 5 big-time threats. You still need some pitching, but it could be that you'll have enough offense.
Well, the Jordan Walker conversation is such an X factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have no idea what he's going to do at the major league level. And if he can do something that is significant, then you're sitting there going, okay, well, you got in the middle of the order, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Contreras, and now a guy who's raking. And who knows what you can get from, if you do have Carlson still around, O'Neill, Edman. You know, that changes the dynamic, and I guess they're on a Newt Bar.
Again, I'll say this like over and over again. It just seems like a lot of guys in the outfield. You know, they're not terrible.
I agree with that in a big way.
What is it you hate about a pepper grinder?
We just fall. I don't know. It's just that Carlson's decent. He's shown a little progression there every now and then. O'Neill has shown he can hit when healthy, but it doesn't seem like all of them are all on the same page at the same times, our outfielders meaning, like ever. And there's always one position we have to fill, 2 positions we have to fill. Just a bunch of guys who, to me, nobody's untradeable on this team. I mean, for guys that are going to help your squad, I don't think Lars Nootbaar is the guy. I'm sorry to tell you. I think Carlson has better upside than Lars Nootbaar. So
I don't know. That I don't see.
Really? Okay.
Wow, really?
I see Nootbaar as a stronger player. He's fast. He's very good defensively. Gives you a lot of energy.
Well, the thing is,
pretty good on-base percentage guy.
Again, in that report, it wasn't just Nootbaar, but Nootbaar, Donovan, and Graceffo. If the Cardinals were offering up Carlson, I mean, it shows that they might be, sharing that opinion with you, which is really saying something because less than a year ago, really, I think they wouldn't have said that. But maybe I'm off the mark. And keep in mind, it wasn't Soto for Carlson. Not that anybody is saying that, but it wasn't Soto for Carlson when that and you also have to factor in the element of the money and that Soto's up after a year. But just the fact that I guess that they were offering Carlson is what stands out to me. That's my biggest reason for focusing on that little element from Ken Rosenthal.
How do they get these stories? Who is it that says, oh, yeah, here's exactly what the trade was?
And by the way, who's to say that what Rosenthal's reporting from his source is accurate?
Yeah.
You don't know.
I mean, the Cardinals, I don't think, would ever release that. I don't think.
I agree with you. I think agents. That's where I think agents.
But you got agents for all those players?
I think an agent with one. And the way it works, and this is the thing, and people, I think, Doug, you probably realize it, but I could imagine most people in the audience, the trade of information is currency for writing positive stories. That's the game. That's the game. You write something good about me, I'll give you this piece of information. You can break the story, and round we go. Like people will bust Derek Gould's balls or Jim Thomas's balls or Jeremy Rutherford's balls or Gabe DeArmond's. How come the local guys aren't breaking the stories? Well, there's a reason for it. And if you follow the money, it's not really all that tough to figure out. You get a hell of a lot more pop if you leak the story to take your pick of whatever national writer from college sports right now, or college football anyway. It's Pete Thamel. He's the guy who has everything right now. or it's John Heyman, who oftentimes has Scott Boras client information, amazingly.
Yeah, who represents Rondon?
Boras, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was in the paper the
Right.
other day. Cardinals.
It was
are the
reported.
mystery
It was
team.
reported by Heyman.
Yeah, Cardinals are the mystery
So when you
team in
kind of
Rondon.
know how the game is played, you recognize it.
Right.
But yeah, these local beat reporters get lit up, and it's not limited to the guys in St. Louis. It's across the country. Well, there's a reason for it. So float my name out there when there's a coaching spot available in college football, and then I'll get locked into an extension, that I may or may not deserve, because the fan base is panicking that I might be in the mix for this con. I'm not. I know I saw Plow Hockey moved your mic, and I know exactly what
ready
you're,
for a drink. What's take?
what you were getting ready to do. But I want to keep emphasizing this is not just like a St. Louis viewpoint. This is how the game is played. But these local reporters get their asses lit for not breaking this kind of information. And there's a reason for it, because you have a much bigger impact if you get that information, to a reporter with a national following or a national outlet.
Lousy smell the Drinkwitz take.
And once I saw the mic move,
his
it was Penny
instincts
KGB with the Oreo.
honed at Missouri Take University, kicked in. And you were ready to deliver
What was
something.
great was I had a backup hot take. I got Steven Matz's contract on standby. So
You had two takes? That was a double barrel take?
What do they owe him now?
I mean, we threw up $36 million on the books for him. That's a lot for 3 years.
So,
10 and a half, 12 and a half, 12 and a half.
Well, I don't think Drinkwitz had anything to do with an agent. I think it had to do with Drinkwitz going on a microphone and saying that we need to give our defensive coordinator we need to re-sign him.
Which was so smart on his
Which he probably went to
part.
the defensive coordinator and said, I'm going to pump you up to get you a contract extension, but then you got to put me in there that I'm not signing unless he gets one. Kind of worked out well.
What a fantastic business model that is.
Unbelievable.
Be a coach, mediocre at best, $6 million a year.
What about a
That's
coordinator
something.
just riding with a coach? Just
Yeah.
riding or dying with a coach at every stop that they take. He's going with them.
Kevin's brother, Jack Demoff, who I think is a sharp texter, says, I am 100% convinced that the team knows that the Bailey's apocalypse is coming, and they have a giant revenue hole that they cannot fill. That's from Kevin's brother, Jack Demoff.
Now that is an interesting take.
Well, somebody will take over the games.
Doesn't mean they're going to pay what they were getting.
But I bet they're still a valuable property.
Sure, but again, if there's a gap on the revenue, it's like we're talking about with Jim Hill going from 2.1 to 1.3. 99% of Americans would go, who effing cares? You're still making 1.3. But if you had your income cut in half, that impacts you. And I don't care what you're making. And if you don't have some semblance of sympathy to that, then you don't really understand math.
Yeah, I just can't see that it would be cut that drastically. It's such
I'd agree with that.
Such a hot property.
I agree with
to
that.
have
But I mean,
live
the
sports.
television rights. Jackson, didn't you send me something for Balloon Party about the CEO of TNT saying we might just bow out on the NBA if it gets to a certain price point? Right?
Yeah, basically just saying we don't have to have the NBA to be successful. Basically saying the prices of TV contracts for sports are skyrocketing and doesn't necessarily.
Because, Doug, we've discussed this before, it's like the only thing that people feel like they have to watch live now.
Right.
You know?
So you got to sit through the commercials.
Right, exactly.
So advertisers find that very attractive.
Exactly. Yep.
But at some point, the rights fees are going to be so high that cable systems can't afford to carry it, and people will stop getting cable. They're doing that by the millions now already,
Well,
cutting the cable because the prices are too high. One of the reasons they're too high is because the sports leagues demand so much money for their product.
I mean, at some point, it's like there's no profit when you're paying 10, 12 billion, 15 billion for rights to games. Like, you got to be buzzer beater or double overtime shootouts every night, playoff contending games every night to make it worth it. Like, you can't possibly have that much viewership and that much advertising to cover billions of dollars annually.
Well, then you're paying your host to your NBA shows $100 million.
Yeah, it's just there's so much damn money in sports.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And you wonder when it's going to top out, when it's going to hit the ceiling.
Well, gambling, it just intensified it even more. I think it's just getting started in terms of what you can do. You get another entity to advertise, with your daily fantasy and your...
Right. Well, as soon as the major networks say no to the TV contracts, Amazon Prime says yes.
Oh, yeah, Apple TV. Oh, yeah, we'll take them.
Be curious how those deals are working out for Amazon Prime and Apple TV.
The Thursday night one's certainly going to be interesting with kind of how the matchups have fallen off. But they started out
Al Michaels doesn't hold back on his thoughts on the
No,
matchup.
he's had it.
He really has.
He's lost his filter, and he's had it with these games.
If anybody's interested in a play, I will make a play that Kirk Herbstreit is not going to be doing the games this time next year. If anybody's interested in that play.
Well, they're not getting along?
No, it's not to say that he's bad or they're not getting along or any of that. I just think I would imagine it's just wearing him out, and I think Apple knows or Amazon I think knows they need to probably do something different. And I don't know how long Al Michaels. I think Al Michaels was that let's make a splash move out of the gate. I mean, the goal was Aikman, if you recall. That's how the whole thing got going, where Joe Buck wound up going over to ESPN.
I haven't watched a Thursday night game all year.
I watched the Packers won.
Packers-Titans where Henry went off.
They had a Chiefs-Chargers game that was pretty good, but it's bad. Like, Al Michaels went from calling the best game every single week to basically calling the worst, because all those guys are on short weeks, so they're gassed.
And I love Herbstreit to death. He's like my college. I mean, I grew up listening to him. But you could tell he's just college football ingrained. Even like his commentary is like, oh, he's the best guy in the country. You know, at the like the tiny little things like the best in the country or the best in the league. Like you can't decipher that because he's so embedded calling big time college football games, which makes sense.
I heard a game this past weekend where the analyst was Mark Sanchez, and I thought he was very good.
He's very good. I like him and RG3 getting a little takey. But I think they got a good future with
Sanchez is damn good.
Yeah, he is. He is.
He's a good personality.
I didn't recognize the voice until they introduced him a second or third.
Who was the analyst who did most of the Mizzou games?
That was Deuce McAllister, Iggy. he was a regular in the booth. I'm sure him and Mike Kelly saw each other every week.
Him and Reggie Bush are in the backfield.
If you listen to him, there's about 150 players on Mizzou that's going to the NFL. Every play. Great tackle. He's going to be playing on Sunday. He's going to be playing on Sunday. He's going to be. There's not. You've named 45 guys on this roster that are going to go to the NFL.
If that's Steck or whatever.
We can't get Steckel every week. Quick as a hiccup. He said that 3 times.
Coaching the Battlehawks.
If I'm sitting next to that guy and I'm having a tough day.
Appliance Discounters, our sponsor here in the 8 o'clock hour, even though it's 9:06. Don't worry about it. The Appliance Discounters, long-time client of the Appliance Discounters, I tell you that, and I'm very happy. If you're in need of an appliance, Appliance Discounters has your appliance with drastically lower prices on installs. Select dishwashers have free installs, huge GE cash rebates along with other brands on kitchen packages. Interest-free financing offers are available. Right now, get the lowest prices of the year. Digital pricing adjusted to beat all competitors' prices every day. Holiday savings going on all month at Appliance Discounters. End of the year clearance prices on all in-stock appliances. Gift cards are available. There'll be no regifting of gifts if you buy friends and family a gift certificate from Appliance Discounters. And remember, you can always shop online at ApplianceDiscounters.com. Appliance Discounters, your hometown appliance source featuring major brands like GE. Doug, do you know anything about Dents Express, anything at all?
I sure do. I also know about paintless dent repair, and I think that's probably over the head of you guys.
Yeah.
If you don't understand what it means that you can repair minor body damage without having to paint. That's what they do at Dents Express. Call on Dents Express for hassle-free dent repair services and more. They have 5 ARC-certified paintless dent repair technicians on staff. Get free evaluations and written quotes for your insurance carrier. They'll file the paperwork for you to give you some extra peace of mind with that. They also provide paint protection film, ceramic coating, vinyl wrap services, and they do cosmetic wheel repair. They'll get your car looking real nice like you got minor body damage on your car, maybe hail damage. Dents Express is where you go. They've got 2 locations. They're on Manchester Road in West County, just about a mile west of 270, and on Hughes Lane out in St. Charles. It's a local family-owned and operated business by the Wilson family. You go see Gray, Wilson. Go see Gray. It will make your day. And if you mention that TMA sent you, they'll cut 10% off the price. What? Do they have a website? Of course they do. Here it is. DentsExpressSTL.com. You go on there, learn all about what they do. Fantastic place to take your car. Get your car looking as good as you possibly can. If your car is a dimpled mess, go to Dents Express.
There it is. Making a delicious drink should be as easy and simple as pouring a glass of wine, and now it is. Thanks to Batch & Bottle's new ready-to-serve cocktails, all containing super premium spirits like the Hendrick's Gin Martini, Glenfiddich Single Malt Manhattan, Reka Rhubarb Cosmo, and Monkey Shoulder Lazy Old Fashioned. Don't spend your next party in the kitchen shaking and stirring while your guests have a good time without you. Like a cock, treat them and treat yourself to Batch & Bottle's premium ready-to-serve cocktails. Batch & Bottle premium pre-batch cocktails imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc., New York, New York. Send your emails in. Jackson, are we giving away another Cardinal ticket package today?
No.
All right. We had a nice run there of Cardinal ticket package.
Oh, we sure did.
The morning after at InsideSTL.com. That's what you can send in for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. JV golf coach and Carlos Spicy Wiener back in the mix.
Oh.
He brought out of retirement for those Cardinal tickets, and he was successful in his quest. Buck Swope has a win. Big Ol' Fan won? The guy who was going after, who was he going after yesterday?
Plowsy.
He's the Mizzou guy.
Yeah. He sent in a great email last week. Yeah, it was really strong.
And then Ken Strode, company man, got a win yesterday.
What do I get for that?
Yeah, what do you get? Maybe you should get Cardinal
Did I get
tickets.
the Cardinal
Yeah,
for
you
that?
should get the Cardinal tickets. Send yours in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. It's coming up in the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com.
Hey, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that's always a great time to gather at Rosalita's. Why not start off with a happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m.? Enjoy happy hour specials including $3 off of appetizers like the wildly popular Carne con Cerveza, marinated steak cooked to order and served on a sizzling skillet. The patio is heated and covered, plus Rosalita's offers live music on Thursdays and mariachi every weekend. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Bret Michaels is bringing Something Is Calling Party Gras to St. Louis Friday, July 28th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, part of the Allegiant Airways concert series, featuring music from Bret Michaels, Night Ranger, Jefferson Starship, Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray, and Steve Augeri, former lead singer of Journey. No, not the original guy, but not the current guy. The guy in between. That guy. Anyway, you could go to the show for free. Sign up now on the TMA app or at TMASTL.com.
This is Tim McKernan here to tell you about Sound Story. Holidays are quickly approaching, and if you are looking for the perfect gift to give, you can find it at mysoundstory.com. And this week, Sound Story gift cards are 20% off when you enter promo code GIFT at mysoundstory.com. With Sound Story, you have the choice of Doug Vaughn, Action Jackson, or myself to interview your mother, or your father, or your grandmother, your grandfather, or yourself to record life stories and wisdom for all of your family. It's the kind of gift that you'll never regret giving. It's the rare gift that everyone will love, not just this year, but for years to come. Just go to mysoundstory.com to receive this holiday special discount of 20% off the cost of a Sound Story gift certificate by entering promo code GIFT. And you will be giving your family the gift of keeping your family's story saved forever. It's Sound Story. Promo code GIFT for 20% off this week at mysoundstory.com.
Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert, is with us. Ryan, rates are still going up. Is it a good time to buy a house still?
Absolutely, Doug. It truly is. We have a saying at the Home Loan Expert office. You marry the house, you date the rate. You know, you fall in love with the house. You're going to be there for a while. But the mortgage, you're probably going to refinance that along the way. Now, mortgage rates are up, but don't let that scare you. Again, you marry the house, you date the rate. Mortgage rates will come back down at some point. Got questions? Ready to get pre-approved? Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Strode. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever. Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. Featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com. The most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
I mean, what the hell is going on?
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Well, Doug, this is the one you wanted, and you got it.
It's about time I got what I wanted.
Invisible Man by Stan, Drew Lachey, and Nick Lachey of 98 Degrees. It's the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. And we welcome our friends to get involved in the Engineered Design Facilities text inbox. 314-881-TMA5. Call in 636-9004-TMA. That's the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines. And, of course, our email today is coming up in a half hour. 30 minutes. We'll be joined. We'll have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. And coming up on Balloon Party on 101 ESPN, Chris Kerber will join us. What time will he join us, Action Jackson?
Jackson.
You may be in the back.
Jackson. Jackson. No, he's not home.
What's up?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's.
God, we missed you.
What's
Where
up?
were you?
He's hurrying.
What's the word?
We missed you.
I was talking to Mr. Licks.
Oh, Mr. Licks called in?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a good news that he's not in. What time is Chris Kerber on with us?
10:15.
10:15.
All right.
Is he always a 10:15 guy?
Yeah, it's he always something that works best for his schedule.
Okay. Fair enough.
Talking puck.
10:15. Talking puck.
Those guys talk a lot of puck.
Boy, do that. Pat was in the commercial break. Panger was on with Randy Carricker, and he's on with us tomorrow.
He's always on.
They're always on, and Jeremy Rutherford's always on as well.
Yeah.
Engineer Design Facility, sponsor of the text inbox here. If you have visibility, your company or place of businesses, commercial fire alarm panel and system, please email fire@edf-rg.com. We'll have a technician come out and provide a free evaluation of your system and offer the most competitive contract pricing in the market. You can also check them out anytime at edf-rg.com, the official commercial fire alarm services and solutions provider of TMA. And then Stratum Structural Systems, 314-620-8153, or go online at stratumrepair.com. It's Stratum Structural Systems online at stratumrepair.com for waterproofing, for foundation repair. It's Stratum Structural Systems. Let them know you are a TMA listener, and you get $100 off your repair project. It's Stratum Structural Systems online at stratumrepair.com. Larry Nichols with us for the WW recap. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, guys. What's up?
What's the good word?
Not much.
Nice.
Oh.
Doug, what a show it was
Okay.
last night.
Yeah. What happened last night, Larry?
There were two number one contenders matches.
Oh, no.
One was for the Raw Women's Championship, and one was for the United States Championship.
Okay.
And I'll focus more on the U.S. title match because the U.S. contenders match because it was between Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins. And of course, Seth Rollins won. And Bobby Lashley was a little bit, how do we say, perturbed.
I think he was perturbed by the outcome.
Yeah. Who could blame
about the ending? Yeah, about the ending of the match. He was arguing with the official who dove out of the ring and hurt his ankle. They couldn't go back in the ring fast enough. After Bobby Lashley hit a spear, and then another official came in. Bobby Lashley didn't know who it was. Gave the other official an elbow, and then WWE management person Adam Pearce came out, and then after Lashley and Pearce got into it a little bit with the showing match, Adam Pearce told Bobby Lashley, and I'll use this man's tone of voice about this, "You're fired."
Oh, Vincent Kenny McMahon, Doug.
Yeah, sure.
And that's how it was all went off the air last night.
Oh, was it?
It's good teasing. That's all that is. It's good
like a heck
teasing.
of a show.
Larry, do you have the top 5 countries in the world available?
Yes, I do.
What are they?
Number 5 will be Mexico.
Mexico. Okay.
Number 4, Brazil.
Okay.
Number 3 will be Australia. Number 2, Canada. Number 1, United States
Nice
of
little
America.
list. Nice tiny little list.
Yes. God bless you. God bless you, United States of America.
Yeah, God bless America.
All right, thank you,
There's
Nixie.
Larry Nickel with us here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Hey, we have a TMA app contest. Jackson, can tell the people about the TMA app contest.
Oh, it's for Bret Michaels Party Gras 2023, Friday, July 28th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. It's part of the Allegiant Always concert series. Tickets are on sale now. You just go on the TMA app, make a profile if you don't have one already. But if you have one, you go to your profile section. It's in the top right corner, I believe. And then you just click on the app contest, enter to win. Bada bing, you're entered to win a chance to go to Bret Michaels Party Gras 2023.
There it is. Check it out on the TMA STL app. Text in 314-881 TMA5. Email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. And, of course, you can call in on the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines. Plowhawk Jackson, who do we have on the line here?
Mr. Lex.
Oh.
Iggy, Mr. Licks, Rookie of the Year. He is on Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines. Good morning, Mr. Licks. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you, Tim. It's an honor. Totally cool that Herb has the award. That's fine.
Well, you weren't there to accept it.
Right.
Why weren't you there?
What? Is that... How come that wrestling thing is still like a segment?
It's very informative.
Mr. Licks, Larry went through a very trying time medically, battled the audience, couldn't have been kinder in raising a bunch of money for his cancer fight. And so it's just something that we do with Larry and continue to do. But I understand. But I will say this: I understand your question.
No, that's a great reason. Hey, Iggy, the MSRP, the MSRP of a brand new, like, tricked out Chevy Colorado is $40,000. So it's not $50,000 truck.
Oh, it was $10,000.
Hey,
so you can see why she thought you were homeless.
It was a rental.
Why does Jeff Bridges have an art show in St. Louis?
An art show?
What? I don't even know what you're talking
I
about.
love Jeff Bridges.
What do you? What?
He's got a billboard, and it says, like, Jeff Bridges Photography at the Sheldon Art Gallery.
Well, maybe he's a photographer and he's showing some of his art off. You got a problem with that?
Hey, Iggy, nobody cares about Senior Cialis.
We hadn't brought that up in a long time.
It was yesterday. How many times are we going to have to listen to Pepper and Jeannie where they just talk about their favorite TV shows?
Oh, I don't know. Is that what they did yesterday?
Well,
yeah.
Part 2 is today.
And
well, you don't have to
out
listen to it.
And I want to get out in front of today's Pepper and Jeannie. The last thing that we all need right now is another podcast out there breaking down the Casey Anthony trial.
Well, you're going to get it, so go away.
Well, no, I mean, do you know how many times that's been done?
Oh, we're going to do it one more time.
That's today's topic?
How many of them have you listened to?
Well, you said someone...
No, that's not the question. How many of those podcasts have you listened to about breaking down the Casey Anthony?
27.
Have you? Okay. Well, there'll be 28 today. We won't break it down today because Paul's here in Washington.
Is this breaking news? Did it just happen, or is this from years ago?
It just started a week ago on Peacock. They did a 3-part series with Casey Anthony actually talking for the first time in 13 years since this happened. And at the end of it, if you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen to the show when we do talk about it, because there's something at the end that she said that may have changed some people's minds.
Wow.
Well, she's a monster. Why would you listen to her?
Well, if you think that she killed her kid, yeah.
Well, I don't want to get into the details.
Yeah, you're already breaking it down now, and you don't want to talk about it, but you're breaking it down, so...
You said people have asked you what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah, they have.
Who asked you that?
Well, people that actually followed it back when it was happening, and I was talking about a lot about it, and people were asking me questions about it, and we did a lot of discussions, and those people have reached out to me. People you don't know.
Okay, now don't get angry.
Like your friends?
Yes,
or like
people you don't know.
Do they know about Pepper? Like, do they know this is coming this afternoon?
I don't know. I don't know if they listen to the show or not. I don't go around promoting it to them. These are just people that I was in discussions with when this whole thing was going on.
Well, they've been waiting like.
No, they haven't been waiting, but it happened. A documentary happened to come out.
Here comes the blow up.
And they reached out to me to see if I'd watched it and what they thought.
There's no way.
You're pushing these buttons, Licks.
Oh my God Almighty!
I mean, Iggy, you get put to the test every hour.
I mean, maybe
Harris's brother Master was betting you that you haven't applied for your passport.
Maybe I'll bring up one.
And now Mr. Licks says there's no. What do you say, Mr. Licks? Nobody contacted Iggy for his thoughts on the Casey Anthony document.
Actually, I'm going to say he said people, so I'll give him one person, but there's no way more than one person asked you, hey, what do you think about the Casey Anthony document? There's no way.
Well, you never know. You never know who's on the other end of the phone.
Iggy gets more DMs than anybody I know, so who knows? I wouldn't take the bet, Mr. Licks. And we did wager last week. And by the way, Mr. Licks, honorable gentleman, he immediately paid what was on the Contreras thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, here's one from Emily who followed it back with me.
Who's Emily?
I'm just giving you one. I'm just going to give you one.
Emily? Why is she chirping?
Somebody who followed it with me, and there was a page on it, and we discussed it a lot, and we were both not fans of Nancy Grace. She just texted me, have you watched the Casey Anthony documentary yet? I said, not yet, but I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah.
I'm still obsessed with that case. That was so crazy. How did she look? I'm surprised she never did an interview. Wow, interesting. I would love to know what really happened. This is after I watched it. I think so, too, but her behavior following was nuts. I think scared of her parents. Finished watching it. Feel free to call me.
Okay.
Well, that's just one of them.
Goodness.
So don't worry about who sends me well, I'm not going to read them all to you.
Yeah.
You said nobody. I just gave you one.
Weren't you on CNN breaking down the Casey Anthony trial?
I don't believe I was ever on CNN doing it.
But that's how we got the name James Velez Mitchell, right?
No, remember somebody...
I used to give her things. I was giving her information, and she would use every night on her show.
Wow.
Doug, who knew we were next to this primary
You're
source?
basically deep throat.
I gave her the breaking news
Nancy?
where... No, the two police officers I knew from Orlando, through my sister, who were giving me a lot of information. They told me what airport she was going to, and where she was coming out of the jail when they released her.
I don't even remember.
And I
this
gave it to
case.
Jane
was
Velez
so
Mitchell,
long
and
ago.
Jane Velez Mitchell was one of the only people that had a camera out there to watch her go out. And then everybody found out, and they had a camera at the airport, the little airport that she was flying out of in Orlando. I gave them all that stuff. Jane Velez Mitchell was calling me every night before a show. Anything new? Anything new? Anything else from you? How did this Christmas light stay on now? What did I do? It's staying on.
I don't know.
What?
Yeah, we're not talking about
it
you.
was a heck of a call, Licks.
Well, wait, one more thing.
Yeah, more.
There are two more things.
Okay.
Iggy, why were you deep-throating a Haagen-Dazs ice cream bar on Instagram?
I was just playing a clip from a lady that said she was hungry, and I was just,
why'd you?
You don't bite into a Haagen-Dazs bar because you get a big hunk of ice cream. I like the chocolate on the outside.
Yeah, you do. Well, you don't suck on an ice cream bar. It's weird.
Yeah, I pull the chocolate off of the ice cream, and then I eat the ice cream.
do you?
Why do you care how I eat an ice cream bar? My God. Your calls are just so stupid.
Let him have it.
The audio, I didn't understand the joke.
Well, it wasn't a joke. I was eating.
I was
like
a comedy bit.
Well, it was a lady in a movie talking about, I can't live off of lettuce leaves. I need food, and there I am eating an ice cream bar. If you don't like my Instagrams, just unfollow me.
Unfollow him, yeah.
Don't watch him. It's pretty simple.
Simple thing.
I do like it.
There's a lot of Instagrams I don't like, and I don't go bitching about them. I just don't watch them. Scroll right by. What's your last point? Because none of these have made sense yet.
No.
You made a fool of yourself today.
Last thing is that, by the way, does this call count towards like 2023?
Yeah, it sucks, dude. And you're in the lead, Lex. If you're asking, you're in the lead again. You may go back to back.
For the record, I didn't vote for you.
Last thing I just want to say is that I'm going to file one of those FISA, what is it, Sunshine Law, to see what the votes were.
Freedom of Information Act.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, I didn't vote for you, and you had to get at least 3 to win, so you do the math.
The math? Okay.
Yeah, there'll be adding and subtracting.
Plowsy, I'm excited for you. Come January 28th, I think the best part for you is going to be the food. You're going to eat so much food there. It's going to be unbelievable.
I'm excited about all of it. I don't get many.
Let everybody know you've been there before.
I don't get many trips like this. Usually it's, Nashville, which is fun. In Chicago, those types of trips. This
They don't
is gonna
have
be a new
food,
one.
so you're going to have a treat here.
Well, I need to know some recommendations, so I'm going to put it on the fan page. Anybody have an idea where the Leaf Chicken
No.
is?
I'm just saying it's all inclusive. So you're going to wake up in the morning and there's going to be like donuts and like pastries galore.
Oh.
Like unlimited.
Now you're getting me excited, Licks. Now I'm ready to roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
all
don't
right,
need you to tell
that's
them
all I
about
got.
the food selection.
Mr. Licks, do you think Jackson will have sex? Because the Warson Woods Wacko wants to bet me $500 that he will not have sex. And you've been there, so you know what the crop is like. Plus, he's going to have Lisa Ann as the greatest wingman of all time.
He's going to be banging them 2 at a time.
There it is. Jackson, look at you.
I like Mr. Licks.
There you go.
It's adults only resort. How did you get in?
Was that supposed to be an insult?
I think so.
Well, you're like a child.
Well, that was like a joke like a 6th grader would say.
Well,
are you done?
Yeah. But hey, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, Merry
Christmas
Joey.
to you.
It is. What a wonderful sentiment, Doug, at the end. Holiday greetings.
Right.
Just go away.
You didn't like the call, did you?
He is just the worst.
Yeah. And drones on for a while, too.
That was pretty
I make him look bad, and he goes on to something else. And I make him look bad, he goes on to something else. It's just...
You really put him in his place.
I didn't put him in his place. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
When he says, you don't talk to any of these people, I just gave him one.
Right, Emily.
And like everybody else, give me another. No, you said I didn't talk to anybody. I gave you one to prove you're wrong.
Yeah.
Guys, Mr. Licks getting in front of Pepper and Jeannie. How about you get in front of a semi on 270? That's from the weightlifting podcaster.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
If Mr. Licks goes to all-inclusive resorts that have donuts for breakfast, he's an absolute poor. That's from Mr. Slade.
Yeah. Good text there.
Guys, the pout fish is throwing a fit over Mr. Licks. That's from the Calme protege.
Mr. Rich, who's worth millions, is going to all-inclusive so he can get free donuts in the morning.
I guess Mr. Licks told us that he had been to this place. Is that what happened?
I don't remember.
You remember that, Jackson? I feel like you're a show historian.
That sounds right. Someone definitely said that they've been there.
Mark Hanna, I think.
Oh, yeah. Mark Hanna did say that he's been there. But I think a caller, like a listener.
Well, if Mr. Licks had been there, that's what I'm saying. If he's been there,
I don't think he's
then he
been
knows
there.
what the scene is, and then that's why I would bet Warson Woods Wacko.
No, he just said that he knows. He was trying to tell us he's an authority on all-inclusive. All-inclusive, yeah, we know it's free food. Way to...
And they'll have things other than donuts, won't they?
No, it's just a donut
Just
feast.
donuts only?
I'm guessing it's like every other place in Jamaica. Or
Where they at?
Omelet bar?
Omelet bar.
Yes.
An all-inclusive, as weird as this might sound, isn't necessarily a money flex.
No, because then you get lesser quality stuff sometimes.
Right.
But I do
So that's
believe-
why I'm not sure if he would say that if Mr. Licks is doing his Mr. Licks thing.
Yeah, he just outed himself that he doesn't have a lot of money and he goes to all-inclusive places.
Wow.
But this, I do believe Sandals has like 16 restaurants.
16?
16? Holy crap.
How big
many
is
people
this
are at
place?
thing?
Well, it's not small.
Think about that, Doug.
Think they'll have fries?
It's got all kinds. It's got American cuisine. I'm sure American cuisine with burgers and fries, and French cuisine, and Mediterranean, and Creole, and
fries across the world.
All kinds of different options. We're only going to be there for 2 days.
No, it's like 5.
We're not going to be able to check them all out.
Mr. Licks has issued a statement. I have not been there. Not really my type of place. It'll be great for you guys, though.
Oh!
It's like Chevy Chase to Bill Murray.
Yeah, as soon as we call him out, I've never been there. Yeah, okay. Well, why were you commenting? How do you
Man,
know
I
he's gonna get
almost
laid?
used his information to bet the Warson Woods Wacko.
No, he got outed when we said he's poor if he went there, and he's backing down. Never been
Well, I
there.
don't think it necessarily means somebody's poor.
Yeah, it does.
It's just...
No, it's not a cheap resort.
If you
trust
have
me.
millions and millions of dollars, you're probably not seeking out an all-inclusive.
No, it's
That's
not,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
It's not a cheap resort, though.
Please get rid of Pareko. He checked this out. God, Jackson.
65780.
Are they starting to text in here now?
65780.
This was my harbor. If they find us here.
Yeah.
Please get rid of Parayko. He checked his own guy last night, clearing the goal. He's getting no idea what was going on. Why is Plowboy the only one talking about his poor play? Kyrou also has to go.
Oh.
Well,
If you've never listened to Balloon Party, you just listen to Balloon Party.
Yeah.
Well, Arturo Parayko is the worst defender in all of hockey.
There were two Blues battling each other in front of the goal there.
God, he is so terrible, man. Whew. Got his money, though. Good for him. I mean, he got paid.
Worsen with Wacko says, this call is proof that Licks is a farce. Anyone who claims 7 figures would not go to an all-inclusive resort, especially in Jamaica. I would know. Virgin, you're dead to me. That's the Worsen with Wacko.
What the hell did I do?
I don't know, but he's right about the call.
I didn't like the I would know, and I love Wacko, but, like, again, I don't love that very end of that comment.
No, there are secluded places in almost every island where you would have your own service staff, your own chef, your own little part of the island where nobody's going to see you. Those are the places the rich go to.
Yeah, but why are the rich willing to spend so much stupid money when they could get an all-inclusive and your food covered?
Probably because of the people that are there.
Oh, they don't like people? Well, screw them.
Are we going to be staying with the Fats?
Oh, we'll be there with the Fats.
We'll be in steerage.
Steerage.
No, but if you got millions of dollars,
Jack
and you're very
Dawson
wealthy,
and Titanic.
you don't want to be going to get an omelet with loader-up guy.
I don't know, man. I've heard about the rates at this place, and it is super expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
But when you
we're
have
talking
ridiculous
all-inclusive,
money,
you don't want to be around a bunch of people.
if we're going to take a vacation, we're going to spend whatever, and it just doesn't matter. Right. You know,
It's the
all
people.
relative.
It's
There
not-
are people who
it's
go to
not the
Mexico
money.
that are afraid to venture too far off the resort, though, that do all-inclusives.
Yeah.
No, that's the reason you go too. You don't have to get off the resorts.
Go to the White Lotus.
Now, if we're in the grill, it's
Yeah,
a different
I
story.
do.
I think the grill is probably the safest place in Jamaica.
Guys, can we get back to the part of the show where the guy who fought an employer match to his 401k, like extradition to a Mexican court, chimes in with some payroll advice for $1 billion sports franchise? Great stuff, Ken. That's from Arbor Day.
What franchise was I?
Are they
sports
late?
franchise was I talking about?
Is it from the 8 o'clock hour?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Was sent in at 9:35.
What sports franchise was I giving advice to?
I don't recall it.
I don't either.
But I don't remember anything about the program.
But you could if you wanted to.
I don't know what he's talking about, as usual.
Maybe he's got the plowboy mixed up with you on the 401k thing. I don't know.
No, this guy sucks.
You got the,
You could talk about me. That's fine.
you eventually took the 401k, though, right?
You're not talking. I don't. I didn't have the ability.
Oh.
Yeah, I did. One of Tim's friends helped me out.
That should be the title of a book.
It's just
Of the radio. One of 10 friends has helped me.
Plowboy, I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. If you are tired of screwing around with people like Mr. Licks, call me and I will show you how to make real money. That's the Warson and Wacko.
Love the dude. Warson has. I got my eyes set on him to have a big 2023.
Oh, wow.
Big. And sadly, I think Licks is too.
Of what they're doing now counts towards the 2023 season. I guess it
I would
would.
No, it
absolutely.
shouldn't. This is like a gray area.
I don't
Between
know.
now
Name
and
duck session.
Between now and the first, nothing counts.
The respawn
Well,
point.
That's not how the Oscars
this,
work.
This isn't like the PGA
It's just that the
silly season wraparound tour.
Silly
I think the
season.
year
Silly
starts
season?
when you have the awards, and then a new
Silly
season
season.
starts.
No, Jay made that up. Jay came up with that title, silly season. Before
That's
they had the
brilliant.
wraparound, there was like all these stupid tournaments to the end of the year, even though the year was over. They would have these things like the QBE shootout and all these stupid things.
Arbor Day is back explaining his text. Ken was complaining that the Cardinals did not increase payroll. Him being too dumb to remember is not a defense. Thanks, that's Arbor Day.
Well, in our defense, nobody remembers.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on that. I said, how much did Yachty make? How much they pay him? Okay, they're even. Boom. That was the extent of it.
Ew.
I tell you what, Lars Nootbaar better be MVP ready next year.
I don't think he has to be that good.
He's gonna get dragged by this fan base.
And look, I have a guy who said all along, he says, it's not my money. They can spend what they want. I don't care. Now, granted, it may hamper them from doing something down the road, but again, not my money. If you want to go trade for Juan Soto and you give him $300 million for 10 years, more power to you.
Indirectly,
It's your money, not mine.
Indirectly, it's your money. When you see ticket prices as expensive
Well,
as
I
they
don't pay for
are,
tickets, so
concession
not
stand prices that expensive, the cost of jerseys, cost of merchandise. I mean, that goes up largely because the payrolls have gone skyrocketed.
We avoid the big, giant contracts, and all the fans are like, yes, but we avoid the fact that they just waste a lot of money on Brett Cecil, Andrew Miller, talking Steven Matz,
Well,
you're
Sexy
talking Luke
Dexy.
Weaver, you're talking Sexy Dexy. All those contracts would probably be Juan Soto. So, like, I hate when we go, oh, man, we saved our money not signing Juan Soto. Well, you just wasted, like, $250 million with these trash-ass low-hanging fruits.
Well, you hit
Like
some
this-
and you miss some.
the
They
Steven
certainly hit on
Matz's-
Arenado and Goldschmidt, two big contracts.
The Steven Matz is a perfect example of how the Cardinals operate. A guy that nobody really wanted. You overpay him and gave him an extra year. He pitched 9 games, and now he's injury-riddled. And now you have to use that contract to show, oh, we just don't have the money to go out to get this guy. It's just ABC poker. Oh, yeah, Mason Wynn, he could be great in 2028. We can't possibly trade him for a
2028.
player now. Oh, they wait till they're up 25 or 26. Yeah. Again, Fabergé eggs. You don't want to take the original Batmobile out of the case because then it lowers in value. And that's what
They have
do
had
with
a
the
run of some bad contracts, that's for sure. But they had a couple great ones, too. Two of the top 3 players in the league last year. They signed a big, huge contract.
Yeah, but those are fantasy trades that wouldn't even happen. Those are trades in a video game that
But they
wouldn't happen.
they did take on the salary.
Guys, can you imagine where the Cardinals would be if Arozarena had simply held up a bottle of ketchup or an immersion blender instead of his cell phone in that locker room? That's from Arbor Day.
Oh, bro, if he would have brought a rally squirrel, oh, my God, he would have a statue.
Kept him and not made the Ozuna trade and had those 2 pitchers.
The Ozuna trade was after.
It was after.
Or the Ozuna trade was before.
If you hadn't made that trade, you'd have Alcantara and Gallen. You'd have 2 of the top pitchers in the National League.
God almighty, boy, aren't you right there.
You'd have no problems at all.
Now, that was one when it was made, I wasn't jumping up and down upset about it.
I know, we don't.
The Fowler thing I didn't like, but that one I had no idea. Because, I mean, Alcantara had been up with the Cardinals, albeit briefly. That wasn't like him. But I knew nothing about Zach Gallen,
It's just, it's not a cut and dried situation where you know how every young player is going to develop.
Brett
you just
Cecil,
don't. Nobody does.
Brett Cecil with the work contract, I think, that my eyes have ever seen on the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Mike Leake thing wasn't great.
Even then, you still got Tyler O'Neill in return. Am I correct on that for that trade?
No.
Or, no, that was Marco. Excuse me, Marco.
Gonzalez.
Was Brett Wallace part of the holiday?
Yes, he was, sir.
All right, so there you go. There's a
Brett
good one.
Wallace, Derek Barton, and Darnell Coles, I think.
Wasn't Wallace one of those can't trade type of guys,
He
too?
was.
First round pick.
That's the thing. For every one, I don't even know who you would cite as, I mean, I suppose the ultimate extreme would be Albert Pujols. For every one of those kinds, I mean, even somebody who's 80% of what Pujols did, there are Brett Wallace's. I remember, Doug, you were covering the Cardinals doing television. I don't know if you remember. Manny Ibar was untradeable.
Yeah.
Looking back
For
at
Kevin Brown, who I realized it wound up becoming a joke of a contract, considered one of the worst contracts in baseball at the time. But this was a trade deal. I think it was like 97 or something like that.
Well, if you want to get an idea how hard it is to judge young players and their future success, go back and look at some of the drafts, the whole league drafts. They're all on the internet right there. You
It's
call
crazy.
up 1997 first-round picks, and half the guys you'll say, who? Never heard, never made it.
Yep.
Some of the top players in the nation. And then there's Pujols getting picked in the 13th round?
That's why you always trade prospects. To me, I never understood it. There's the outliers. I think the Jordan Walker may be an outlier. I preach trading him for Juan Soto. I understand that. But he may be a talent to where you could obviously see the major league level. Most of the guys are tradable. Most of them are going to be average to below average. You're going to lose on a couple in 10 or 12 year period.
I got to attend to some business. Then we have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Get your body in golf shape at Family Golf and Learning Center. Gym memberships now available. Individual, couple, or family membership options. Family Golf also offers chiropractic adjustments and one-on-one fitness training at additional costs. Take advantage of all that Family Golf and Learning Center offers. But hurry, limited memberships are available. For more information, visit FamilyGolfOnline.com. And when you have weather like this, but you still want to keep your golf swing sharp, go to Family Golf and Learning Center. It's Family Golf. James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency is online at carltoninsurance.net. He sponsors the Colonel every Monday here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net. It's James Carlton. He is my insurance agent. I would like him to become your insurance agent as well. They'll do all the paperwork for you when you make the switch. It's James Carlton, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. And the fine people at Mentality. That's lowtusa.com. Mentality is a local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. When you feel like you don't have the energy or drive to keep up with your kids after work, if you could just feel like you did 5 or 10 years ago, so you can be present with your family, be the father, husband, and friend, you know you can be. It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy, even if you've tried testosterone before. Not everyone understands the blood chemistry in men's bodies, and that's where Mentality can help. The normal range for testosterone is large. If you've been to a doctor and they told you that you were normal without understanding the range or testing your free testosterone, it was not fully looked at. Come get checked with Mentality. It's Mentality online at lowtusa.com. And there it is. Iggy, what are you passing around? You're passing it around like a 40 ounce.
I was showing Doug, because I looked that up last week. We were talking about number one picks that just don't pan out. You never know. And I kind of thought, I guarantee you, there's maybe 3 that have panned out that have been great players. There's actually a lot.
We're talking about the first guy picked in the whole
draft. Well, that's what I said, the number one pick.
Yeah, I'm talking about the whole first round.
Well, that's different. I was talking about the number one overall pick that usually pans out. More than half the time in the last 30 years, they've been all-star players.
Yeah, that's it. You better hit on the first overall pick. I'm talking, you can go through the early rounds of lots of drafts and see players that just never got a sniff.
Yeah, well, you're talking over 30 players, so not all 30 are going to hit. There's going to be some that don't hit. So.
Well, clearly, yeah.
And then somebody wanted some suggestions what to do for kids in Jamaica. It's nothing.
What to do for kids in Jamaica? How about go to the beach?
Somebody sent me a DM.
Somebody sent that to you.
Yeah, me and my wife and my 2 kids, 10 and 15, are going to Jamaica next week. Anything fun to do with the kids?
Yeah, turn around and go to Disney,
gone.
bro.
I've never gone.
Either leave your kids and go on a nice beach vacation or go on a kid-friendly vacation. Don't abandon your kid with a random worker and have them go like sea doing and snorkeling while the parents are out relaxing. Just leave your kids.
Yeah, I really don't. Jamaica's not a place outside the resort that has like fun things for kids to do, like putt-putt and.
They don't have that stuff.
I've never seen any of that stuff.
No, banana boats are fun.
Now inside resorts, if you want to take your kid on like a glass bottom boat tour and things like
Those
that.
are fun.
Yeah, but kids get bored looking under a glass of water.
Well, if it lasts too long.
Look, a fish. A lot of these resorts have things to do for the kids.
So you're saying don't go?
No, I'm not saying that, but I can't give you any advice. I've never gone to a kid-friendly resort.
Well, the beaches are probably kid-friendly, right? Most of them?
You're probably going to see boobs.
Oh.
Bare boobs.
How about the pool at the hotel?
Again, I've gone to pools with naked people.
Oh.
Nice.
I can't.
But they're not all Hedo.
But I can't. My point is I can't give you any advice because I've never been to places that have a lot of kids around, if any. So I can't help you out.
No.
Thanks for asking, though.
Okay.
Didn't seem sincere. But it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today.
Okay.
It's logic. You don't panhandle for money unless you are across the street from somewhere where you can spend said money. Step your game up, homeless. How do you know when somebody is lying? They start their story with, "I'm not lying. This is a true story. You think I'm homeless? I just got out of that $50,000 car I don't actually own." Owned. But this email is not about punishing Iggy. God already did that by giving him that face.
Oh,
It's about the eroticism I saw last Thursday. As me and my new buddy left, up came driving a LeBaron convertible. With the rain, he had the top up. He was like, you guys horny? Does that happen where people just drive up?
Maybe.
Not
You've
enough.
had too much to drink.
Well, my friend was in town from Indiana, so a little strange piqued his interest. As I got in my whip, I noticed the LeBaron already parked with the top down now. My new homeboy had the driver doing a handstand spread eagle, pulling the teriyaki technique. And that is the story of the time I met Brian Henson at a TMA party. P.S. Yes, I did DM Brian to make sure he was okay with me emailing in this factual account of last Thursday's goings-on. That's from Norma, and then the last name is Skok.
Norma Scote.
You make fun of my face. I haven't been engaged for 13 years and can't get her to marry me.
Wow. You think it's because of his face?
Something going on there.
Wow. It's like Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. It's got personal.
Don't get personal with me, buddy.
He took the glasses off. That's how you know Shannon Sharp means business. Morning. The week Wellington was in, Ken looked extra scuffy those couple days. His wiry goatee came to a tidy little light point. He hadn't yet got his cute little busman haircut, and I couldn't get Mugatu from Zoolander out of my head. What didn't cross my mind was the beautiful satire that occurs in that movie relating to horrible fashion. He has since gone on to wear that ridiculous puffy coat under his own will and without coercion. He has subconsciously completed the transformation and is one and the same with Mugatu. Mad props to whoever came up with Ebenezer Mugatu. That's from Dogtown Ty.
Dogtown Ty.
Gentlemen, I'm the only one who has noticed Iggy's fascination with the homeless people and the homeless strategy. Like a Hollywood star map, he can tell us the location and offer some personal information on every vagrant in the metro area. Guy on Lindbergh in Manchester, Iggy. Oh, that's Ricky. I once tried to give him Chick-fil-A and he wouldn't take it because of laws and stuff. What a prick. Old man with one leg on Natural Bridge. I'm mad at Veronica. One time I gave him $5 and he bought booze with it. He is clearly jealous that they do even less work than he does but still make more money. And after putting Tim's family information out there that Tim clearly wanted to keep in-house, he tries to smooth it over by explaining how your brother has a great location because that's where all the homeless should go.
I didn't think about that.
They should beg for money at Ted Drew's Bread Company and the Smoothie King and walk on down to get a Long John. So really, Timmy was driving business for your brother. You should tell him thank you. It's clear he looks at the lifestyle and is debating on a career change. Only explanation, never change, Iggy. That's from Just a Big Ol' Fan.
Just a big old fan.
How about that?
Good email.
Yeah, I mean, you would never think Just a Big Old Fan based on the text yesterday is the same guy sending in the email.
It might not be.
It might not be. All right,
It might not be.
Ladies and gentlemen, Buck Swope has spoken.
Oh.
Here are a sample of the Google reviews for Iggy's LA apartment for under $1,100 a month. You would think that for $1,100 a month, you can have air conditioning. No, only a cheap ceiling fan, 2 stars. Not parking, some homeless hit your car studios, 3 stars. Pool is only 10% full with dirty water. Maintenance man takes residents' kids back to his house to perform slave labor under the guise of karate training, 1 star. Today, he claims he started the passport application process after talking to Tim about the potential Jamaica trip on the day Jay Jr. passed. The following day was gobbable. So let's assume at the earliest he got the ball rolling the following Monday, the 21st. 2 weeks later, on Monday, December 5th, the day Iggy officially decided to go to Jamaica, he said he had sent in his application 5 weeks earlier because he'd been offered the opportunity to stay at Marco Bertorelli's place in Italy. So, we are to believe that Iggy got started on his passport renewal for the TMA Jamaica trip on November 21st. Then apparently that same day he learned the trip was only 4 nights, told everyone he couldn't go because of his goddaughter's wedding that he couldn't possibly miss because he hadn't seen her in 10 years. Once Lisa Ann got involved, he bailed on that wedding that he really didn't care about because he hadn't seen the girl in 10 years, and then misquoted himself about the timeline and the motivation for his passport renewal. To quote the cat, either you were lying then or you're lying now. Doug, that's Buck Swope.
Oh, Buck Swope. Hard-hitting investigative emailer.
Yeah, it's really... When I hold up the passport, you're going to just suck my...
Hey, come on now. Your head dropped to the table on that one?
Well,
Don't get crestfallen over what these people say.
All he does is recap the show that we just did an hour ago, and that's his email.
Guys, I hate to do this because Iggy is the GOAT, but I'm starting to get the feeling that Manti Te'o's girlfriend is in charge of securing Iggy's passport. Let's look at the facts. His check suspiciously still hasn't cleared. Furthermore, he fabricated a, quote, can't-miss wedding for a goddaughter that probably doesn't even exist. But suddenly, he doesn't even care about the wedding anymore and admitted he hasn't even seen this girl in the past 10 years. Now his timeline and story about when he started the application process has changed.
Swope again? The same email.
Speaking of changing, he desperately tried to change the subject on 3 separate occasions during the cross-examination in segment 1. And I quote, yes, speaking of passports, that reminds me of a fat guy from Philadelphia that once got turned down by a hooker. And since we were talking about passports, did I mention that I reached out to Denny P? Maybe we should book Hito Rick. Blah, blah, blah. Someone who tries that hard to deflect attention is hiding something. It all boils down to this. Missouri's best bartered seafood chef concocted this whole messy ordeal because he is too nervous to share a room with Lisa Ann. It's clear that this passport debacle is just an elaborate tale told by an uncut senior citizen who dabbles in hair crimping. And finally, are you ready for the biggest bombshell yet? The new season of Señor Cielos drops in January 2023 at almost the exact same time as TMA's Jamaican Vacation. The leather one obviously wants to stay home so he can lie down and binge crank to a Spanish-speaking soap opera. There is no passport. He is not going. Case closed. That's from the JV golf coach.
Oh, JV golf coach.
I think Señor Cielos has already started.
You watching it again?
It's on Telemundo. I can't get it.
You miss your, what was that cable that you have?
Cable America.
Cable America.
Well, I have it on Netflix, but they took it off.
What?
They took all the seasons off. And now the new season started, which nobody knew there was going to be a new season.
No.
And there's nowhere to watch it.
And finally, hey, boys, just some thoughts. I would go to Jamaica with yous, but it's only 3 days.
Yep.
Can you confirm which night you are going on the Polar Express so I can book my ticket? Also, what pajamas are you wearing so I can match? Speaking of hot takes, Mad Dog yesterday went from NFL scheduling to how crowded Fifth Avenue is to a review of Music Man with Hugh Jackman to a Brittany Griner take. He is the master. You guys had Greg Warren in. He wrestled at the same time as me in high school. One of his teammates at Kirkwood took X-Lax to lose weight and crapped himself during the match.
Oh.
It's a true story. Hey, Tim, after you see Lisa Ann in a bathing suit and you already saw Roderick topless throwing sand around your place in Florida, can you let me know who has nicer breasts? Did anybody else spend the last 24 hours thinking, how different Mizzou basketball would be if they had hired Bill Self instead of Quinn Snyder? Wow! And finally, I also heard Bowtie and Pinocchio turned down Newt Bar for Trout. They wanted Otani, too, for Newt Bar. Thanks in advance, Steve, at One Dimly Lit Way. And, Doug, that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling.
One Dimly Lit Way. Well, there are some good ones. Buck Swope always brings it strong. But I'm going to vote for a fellow by the name of Big Ol' Fan.
Yeah, congrats, Big Ol' Fan.
Big Ol' Fan!
He made me laugh.
This guy, that's who I was going to vote for, too.
Yeah,
this Big Ol' Fan.
Come out of nowhere.
Wow. Jackson, what do you think?
He's 2 for 2. He sent in 2 emails this month, and he's won both times.
But is he the same guy who's like Mizzou guy?
Well, the guy who texts in is just named Big Ol' Fan. And
Yeah,
this
they're not the
guy
same
is
people.
just a Big Ol' Fan. And it's clearly a show running joke that's been going on for some time.
That's correct.
So it's not necessarily like proprietary to one guy.
Big
so it
old
could
fan
be, I
like
don't know.
tripled down on a Mizzou take. This guy, no way.
This guy doesn't strike me as a true son, but I don't know.
Well, I'm just a fan. I'm just a big old guy. And a fan just like you.
I don't know.
That's where that came from.
It's the most relatable message ever.
Well, congrats to him.
I hope they're different people. Well, actually, I don't care, but I like this Just a Big Old Fan. Good emailer.
Yeah. He's a new emerging star in the universe. All right, time for us to shut it down. Jackson and I are going to go deal with it down the hallway. Chris Kerber with us coming up in about 15 minutes. Pepper and Jeannie. And Iggy, you guys are talking Casey Anthony, even though Mr. Licks doesn't want you to.
I don't think so, because Plowsy didn't watch it.
Yeah, I took a long nap yesterday.
Oh, no.
It's 3 hours.
You took a 3-hour nap?
Oh, longer than that.
No, the documentary's 3 1-hour episodes.
Yeah, 3
so you
1
can,
hours.
You can knock it out in 3 hours.
How long was this nap?
It was a while. 2 to 7:30.
Oh, my God.
5.5 hours.
And then you went to bed at like 9:30?
What's that?
Well, what time did you go to bed if you took a 5-hour nap
Oh,
in the
yeah,
middle
I
of the
went to bed
afternoon?
at like midnight, 1 o'clock.
Oh.
So sleep period was off. I feel like I've gotten a lot because I actually did. I've gotten 12 hours.
That ought to be enough.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, Plowhawk. Maybe you can watch it today. We'll be on Pepper and Jeannie now, though.
Yeah, we'll figure out something.
There you go. It's coming up. Jackson and I are going to do a QFTA, so anything you want to send in, T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. That's what we have coming up. For the Plow, for Action Jackson, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Closing out the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour from the Mix.